sandals and shorts, and surf and scuba and sand and sailing and soccer. San Diego, California.
Previously on Two Balls and a Mic.
Season's greetings here on a Monday. Two Balls and a Mic with a special guest, Craig Elsten, in the garage, in persona, in person. Craig, we're going to go ahead and take you on a ride because San Diego FC is here. And they are playing and undefeated. They are currently undefeated at home, but they haven't won. With a 1-1 tie, a goal by Oni Valakari, the first San Diego FC goal scorer at Snapdragon Stadium. We're going to talk about the game, get your perspective on everything that's happening San Diego FC related, as well as everything San Diego Wave related, because San Diego Wave is starting off this weekend here at home. Well, they started last weekend in LA. Guess what? They also tied. San Diego just loves the ties. 1-1. We have goals, gaps, and grades. We are welcoming everybody on Instagram, X. Blue Sky needs to get it together with video, and Instagram, everywhere. Yeah. Craig,
Everywhere.
we'll just get this rolling. How are you?
I'm good, guys. It's great to be here. I love this mic. Makes me feel really NPR. You know, here with my tell you about my sweaty balls.
Sweaty ball.
Everybody loves my sweaty balls.
Please. I would love to hear more about. I love hearing how to put the sweaty balls in my mouth.
So, very happy to be here. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for inviting me once again. As I was just saying to Tony the last time I was here, we were doing a Soccer's Chihuahua match, which went just like all the other ones, meaning they lost in some variation of a humiliating fashion. It's gotten, I think, increasingly worse each time.
Oh,
So,
well, right.
yeah.
Against Chihuahua.
Yeah.
It has
That's
not
about
been
right.
righted.
Yeah. So this was like a mid-level,
Mm.
solid, desultory loss.
Yeah.
Not a complete 10-goal humiliation, like just a solid 5-goal loss. Or
I think
That's
this
not
is
that bad.
La Limpia. This is what we call it. Sometimes you just got to go back and face it. Just cleanse
You gotta-
the palate.
give
You're
it an egg.
here.
You gotta
Yeah.
get the egg on there.
Ground zero.
Yeah.
You're a superstitious sports person, yeah, right?
Not, I mean,
I
I don't think I don't think we have any impact on anything at all. So never mind. Never mind. Like the impact on our words on the game's result. We're all specks of dust waiting to return to the infinity of the universe. So
Hey.
That's true.
I
That
just
is
am a
solid.
determinist sports viewer. That's sad. I'm there with you, but like I
either that
can't-
or I'm a wizard and I don't know how to control my powers, and it's very frustrating.
I like that outlook also. I've also dreamt of having magic, and then I show somebody, and then I just don't have magic anymore.
Right.
And it's like, look, I
Magic
just
is
did
gone.
this. It's gone. But there is magic here in San Diego because soccer is here.
Yeah.
And not just the San Diego Soccer's representing and carrying the brand and everything that's come before with the San Diego Soccer, San Diego Loyal after. You were just out there as well. The voice of the PA. One day, actually, I have just that Kaylin Sheridan. I can't wait for the first Kaylin
that'll
Sheridan
be
of the year.
15th minute, 4th minute. Who
Yeah.
knows? On Saturday.
I don't want to put you on the spot. Can we get a Kaylin Sheridan?
Kaylin Sheridan.
That's
There it
it.
is.
That's
There
it
it
right
is.
there.
There it is.
Royalties after to come.
We're gonna talk about her, but
Uh,
man, did she have a game this past weekend?
100%.
Yeah,
No,
like,
she
we're gonna dive on that
absolutely.
later.
Like normal.
Yeah, no, exactly. Just cleaning
Yeah.
things up.
Oh, yeah.
Abe asked Jonas Eidevall about the performance, and he just kind of gave like, yeah, no, like that's who we have. Like, good that we have her because this was probably going to be a loss. But let's get things rolling as we have the comments welcoming everybody in. We're going to go ahead and get things kicked off. A launching point, we have the segment Goals, Gaffes, and Grades, where we talk about some goals of the week, some gaffes of the week across San Diego soccer. This means professional all the way to Bridge Barcata,
Okay.
and just everything in between. If you submit your goal, if you have your gaff, you go ahead and submit it. We have a great as well to go along with that. So with that, Chiba, do you have it?
Goals,
All
gaffes,
right,
and grades.
perfect. All right. So
We did goals at gaps and grades a little differently today.
this is kind of a show sometimes, Greg.
Yeah.
Like I
I
don't
love
like
we had
it's
things.
just
We had things.
it's just
And
UHF here. I'm weird out.
I love it.
I think we told you all last week that we were going to start kind of letting you all decide of who the goal of the week was going to be.
Oh.
And, we did that on social media. We threw up 4 different goals that we saw over the weekend that were just phenomenal goals. And we just let the people decide. Tony, I don't know if you are able to pull up
Or la gente.
either on our Instagram stories or on X. I shared all the clips there as well. But it was 4 different goals. Craig, I want to get your reaction to the 4 goals that were
Okay.
nominated. And from there,
Okay.
we'll kind of see who
Fair
was
enough.
the winner.
All right, let's start
So
with
this was
here.
one of them. This was Moreno from El Paso Locomotive from the USL Championship. We all know him and love and miss the
that.
USL
Oh,
Championship.
yeah.
This
All
was
right.
in the game against Phoenix Rising this weekend.
To the middle of the box.
Woo!
Overhead kick,
Beautiful.
and it's in. My goodness gracious, Armando Moreno on his bike to make
Yeah.
it
Moreno
4-1
with a
Locomotive.
fantastic
I
bicycle
want
kick.
to ride my bicycle. Love it.
That was one of the ones nominated. Obviously,
Outstanding.
we have another one that we saw over the weekend here at home.
Okay. All right.
Great header.
That's hot.
That man was dominant inside the box on corner.
Yeah, it
kicks.
was. Great stuff.
Another goal that was nominated. We got another one.
What do we got?
Kiki Pickett's
Kiki Pickett.
with Bay FC.
Ooh. Oh, wow.
It was on
Okay.
Friday for the NWSL, like to kick off the season.
Yeah,
What
that was a good
banger
one.
of a goal.
That's definite banger.
And then lastly, it was in the same game for El Paso Locomotive.
Two
For
games.
Phoenix.
Who would know?
6 minutes.
Yeah.
This was the one to watch.
Same one.
There's that man again. That's a good solid cross. Nobody in black nearby. Sacco. Locomotive gets that cleared.
No.
Oh, the lofted take for the goal. My
Aids of
goodness
Jake
gracious.
Finlinson.
I mean,
Traore catches.
that's wild.
Those were the 4 goals nominated for goal of the week. And based on our polls,
What would you think? What
would
would
you
you
guess?
think?
I mean, that last one.
that was Mohamed Traore.
I
for
mean, I
Phoenix
was
to
going to
tie
say
it
the
up.
bike, but that
Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
one touch from beyond midfield.
Mhm. Yeah, no, this was
Absolute lace.
to tie it up in the dying minutes as well.
Yeah.
On a 4-4 match. I would have picked that one too. I went ahead and voted on our polls too. For
Oh.
my person, and I voted for that one.
Are we allowed to do
Tony,
that?
yeah, why
That
not?
legal?
That's pretty
fine.
legal. It's
All
our
right, cool.
podcast. We can do whatever we
Okay.
want. Tony, who would you have voted for?
I would have voted for that last goal as well. Like I looked at it, I'm like, where's the error? Where's the mistake by the goalkeeper? But it's
Yeah.
like who in their right mind thinks to just boot it from there, right? Like that's
No.
incredible.
No, and we were at the SDFC game, and I showed you. Oh, dang! And I just showed you the video, and I was like, "That's the goal of the week nominee for sure." And leave it to us being an MLS match and still watching USL Championship.
I'm just proud of the the
Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
just that you found them.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I not on my radar.
No, that was a fantastic
Key
goal.
El Paso goals,
Yeah.
but nonetheless,
Yeah. So I mean,
some great football right there.
again, our followers voted on this, and they may be a little biased,
Uh-huh.
but Oni Valakari won, and we got a couple messages
Tony Volacari won.
based
The
on
fourth place finisher.
based on the impact, the meaning, history, their first San Diego FC goal at Snapdragon Stadium.
Got it.
That's why it wins goal of the week. If I had to go,
I mean, it's a good goal.
It's a
It's
great
a really
goal.
good goal.
it's not a midfield goal
Right.
to tie it up.
It's not a bike.
Yeah, so
It's not a midfield one-touch rocket. And
Tony
even the
Valacari-
Pickett goal was pretty dang good.
yeah.
Like that was a banger.
I would say
and this is a
anything
good
outside the box wins.
professional, MLS header goal.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
really, really solid goal. It's definitely the best home goal in SDFC history.
I can't think of another one better.
Yeah.
I number one.
Well,
Number one with a bullet.
Oni Valakari, you won San Diego Punta Futbol's questionable goal of the week.
We asked Joe Corona. We asked Joe Corona this after a match I saw
Yeah.
of his, and I'm like, it was like the first edition of this, and I'm like, hey Joe, it was just an offhand conversation. I'm just like, okay, cool, we'll go talk later. But like, by the way, you won goal of the week. It was a Friday. How do you feel?
How do you feel?
And he was like, Like I think I have it on
Same as
camera
I
at some
did
point, just like,
before.
great. I love it.
Yeah.
It's part of it. But we also have a part of this that is a gaff. And happens. Chiba, can you help me out with that one?
So I don't have a video of it or anything,
Puta
but
madre.
the thing that was nominated and
Okay.
won because it was very silly. It was construction outside of Snapdragon Stadium,
Okay.
exiting towards the stadium off the 15.
All right.
And I mean, to have construction outside a big game on a little
Yeah.
what was it, Friars Road West. That was the one gaff that we saw. Tony, you
Soccer
nominated that
related,
one.
yeah.
I mean,
just
couldn't
walked
be
by.
me. Trolley taker.
There you go.
How's that?
There you go.
How is that?
So
They were talking
first time in for the first game, quite full. I left about the same time each day, which was 4 for a 7:30 game.
Okay.
So first time the Grossmont station was like a car full of SDFC people, everyone dressed. I think I had 3 picture requests like on the platform. So it was like a really spirited, very full. This week it was easy. It was handful of people.
Okay.
So getting in, total breeze. Getting out felt probably very, very similar to India.
Oof.
Like just a New Delhi tram.
Yeah,
like,
no rules.
in rush hour. I mean, it was just pushed in, squeezed in, find your spot, hold your spot, humanity all around you.
Yeah.
Didn't really loosen up till 70th Street.
Oh,
So yeah, it was
wow.
pretty but that was like literally the first or second train out.
Got it.
So last time the way back it was crowded, but not quite as bad. So either way, I'm going to do that over spending $40
100%.
every single time.
That is a glowing recommendation for MTS. So I love hearing that. MTS can certainly use a win here and there, especially the staff that can't get to our school sites on time. Utilizing it.
Boop,
Yeah.
boop, boop.
That's
The real
I
gap
sure
has
did.
been revealed.
Yeah,
Jeez.
100%. Now for our grade of the week.
Okay.
Tony, go ahead.
Grade of the week is actually SDFC related, and we're going to get ahead and get started welcoming
All right.
everybody in. But it's head coach Mikey Varas.
Yeah.
Head coach Mikey Varas for San Diego FC, who has led his team to be undefeated and on pace to break the record or tie the record, at least for most invicto to start a campaign in an expansion season for MLS. So 4-0 in terms of not losing, I guess.
Yeah.
And doing everything right, down to the fact that he's answering questions in a fantastic way. You can find everything that we do press conference wise on sandiego.futbol.com or sandiego.futbol or sandiego.futbol's YouTube channel. And Chiba, you actually asked him this question in the post game, and a great match. And we'll bring it on back as far as why he was even asked this question. Where are you? There you are.
Coach Alejandro with San Diego Football. What came to the decision to replacing your fullbacks, Lovitz and Negri, and starting Bombino and Willy Camado tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we're a club that believes in opportunity, one. Two, what we've said from the beginning is that winning or losing is not how we assess things. So it's not when we're winning, nothing is changing, and when we're losing, everything is changing. We focus on the performance of the team. We focus on the performance of the individuals. And when guys are in the good to elite range, they'll never be moved from the lineup. If you're below average to above average, there's a chance that your spot will be given an opportunity for someone else to take it. It's nothing drastic though. At the end of the day, it's a long season. It's also about making your squad as big as possible. And when you're able to play multiple players, now we have 2 guys. We have 4 guys who have started games at that fullback position, and that's really important as well.
And to me, that's just the baller answer. Like he said, it doesn't matter if we're undefeated. If you're being mid, below average, above average, you're up for rotation. Like there's no exceptions there. And I mean, I think we can agree. I mean, to my fans was like, Negri just scored a goal and now he's getting benched. That's crazy, right? But I respected that answer, to be honest, and to me, that's why he wins Grade of the Week.
I love it. Great pick. And Mikey Varas is somebody that has taken this job with his full heart and soul. He's putting his all into it. He's a man of the people. He didn't grow up out of a ton of privilege. He has been bicultural, his entire life, and is applying his life experience to this, an opportunity that I don't know that he thought he was going to get at this age and this stage of his career. And I tell you what, he is a revelation to me. Back when I had a radio show, I was talking to him fairly regularly, and I found it illuminating every time. And also when I got to meet him in person, I found him to be a great human being and somebody that is very committed to what he's trying to do and what he's trying to build in the community, as well as what he's trying to build on the pitch. So he's just got superlatives for me all the way around. And, I'm sure we're going to come up with moments of critique. I mean, maybe Angel should have started in the middle at the beginning of the game instead of moving there in the middle of the game. But he's made good adjustments. He's applied a style, and I got to agree, like, when you hear him talk and seeing, your guys' interaction with him and his interactions with the press, he keeps that humanity. He doesn't really have an air about him. And I really, really appreciate that, especially nowadays.
He does answer everything as a coach would and should. When asked, in midweek media availability, but like, hey, what are you training? What are this? I'm focused on us. This is very, very closed off. Don't want to give anything to whoever may be listening. Like, great coach talk. But then he always takes the time to kind of bring it back in terms like, okay, like the people need to hear something from us. They need to understand that this is a real football club. Like, we're doing business here, and they're doing it in a way that is walking the walk, really. And I think overall, in the big picture, in terms of SDFC, there's been a lot of times where you can point to something and say, hey, you could have done better. Better things could have done here, leading up to the actual players going on the pitch. That's when SDFC has been shining. They've been shining.
I agree.
Tactically on soccer ops. Check, check, check. No notes right now. I mean, I can't think of anything better than what they've had.
8 points in 4 matches.
Yeah.
2 road wins. It's pretty ridiculous, honestly.
They're doing it oppositely. Like, you should win your home games, tie the away matches.
Right.
But at the end of the day, they're still undefeated. Like, there's no denying that. I think there's 6-7 clubs undefeated out of 30. Like, that's insane. Like, nobody had that on their bingo
But
card.
they're not playing suffer ball. They're not packing it back. They're not playing for 0-0. I know they put up a 0-0 that confused every single person over 60, in San Diego. Like, but with that, this team plays a very exciting, attractive, motivating style of soccer. They're going for it. They're really trying hard. And it's to the point where if they concede, like, I'm fine with that in the flow of what they're doing. They're not going to always be playing from ahead because they're playing so creatively. Sometimes another team is going to take advantage. Plus, they're such a young team, right? I mean, they've fallen behind twice in a row, and they didn't lose either of those matches. So incredibly impressive what they've put together so far.
I agree.
And they haven't been fit. This team is not fit. Going down to Luca de la Torre, who can barely put up 60, a very good 60, but at the end of the day, he's been dealing with the toe injury from Coachella. He's been dealing with a lot of fitness issues. Same thing going back to your superstar, your DP, Chucky Lozano. Like, he goes out in the first home match, the first 20 minutes, it's red alert for everything. But guess what? You have Anders Dreyer. Like, he is a superstar. Anders Dreyer is absolutely taking this league by storm. And this is, again, from a neutral observer in a way that I'm coming into MLS and really now starting to pay a lot of attention. And the fact that a player like this is shining and other people are like, oh no, yeah, that's a guy we need to worry about. Like what you see from, do you have, there's Paletero, there's the Iceman, there's
La
like different,
Secadora.
La Secadora, because Dreyer, I don't know. What are your impressions of what he's been able to bring to San Diego?
I mean, he's a stud. He's got such a quick snapshot and a powerful left at that, but he gets it away fast. In that way, he's got a little indoor in him in terms of just his ability to get the shot away quick. He's a hard worker. He's moving up and down the floor, up and down the pitch. He's not just sitting there and standing there. He gets back. He tracks back. Love what I've seen so far. I mean, I can't wait to see him actually interact with Chucky Lozano on a much more long-term basis, because right now, Dreyer's getting all of the defense's attention.
Yes.
And that's going to change when Chucky's back on the left wing. And all of a sudden, Dreyer's going to be able to be that guy that is the pick your poison.
Yeah.
Which side do you want to slant to? Because either guy, if he's looking for the other, this should be a pretty exciting offense. Now you get, I don't know whether Ingvartsen even holds his job going forward. Maybe he does. Maybe Angel's a guy who's earned the spot. But if you have that creativity through all three, they're going to be hard to hold to 0 or 1.
No, I agree. And I mean, kind of diving into this game, you get the starting lineup, right? I mean, it's the same, but you get some surprises. You get changes on the fullback position. You have the 18-year-old Luca Bombino replacing Franco Negri, who had a pretty great game getting a goal in the last week.
Yeah.
And then you have Willy Kumado. Willy Kumado is a player that came in and everyone really thought he's going to be the starting right back at one point. It was just a matter of when. Like you said, hey, week 4, it's your call. It's your shot. Like, take it. Lovelson wasn't playing bad either. He was playing pretty good at the right back position. So now he made these changes. You have a 22-year-old, an 18-year-old at the fullback position. That's gambling right there.
The gall to do that.
Yeah.
Like just flying in the face of MLS and everything in terms of expectation, because the conversation going into it was, okay, yeah, they have a good midfield, they have a good attack, but the defense is going to struggle.
Right.
It's going to be the defense.
That's what I thought.
Right. And
First 2 preseason matches, that's what it looked like.
Yeah, and I mean they've only allowed 2 goals.
Yeah.
Like they're playing great. They're gelling very well. And I mean, you still don't have Andres Reyes back.
Right.
Who's supposed to be one of the starting center backs. Who knows even when he's healthy if he's going to be a starting.
he's a real
starter
person.
anymore.
I saw him giving away autographs in the tunnel. He's a real human being. Like,
he
for sure.
exists.
He exists. I've spoken to the man.
Andres Reyes, who is a human that lives on Earth.
But yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, this was another test, a measuring stick. We know Columbus, even if you're a pedestrian MLS fan, you know of the history and the legacy of the name Columbus Crew. They're a legacy team. They've been here. There's a way that they play. There's a style and a philosophy, and they're a team. They've been here.
And I'll tell you this, as you're rolling the highlights, watching this back today, and I watched the full match back, the first 30 minutes are minutes 10 through 40 are all Columbus. And here's the goal, but they could have had 2, they could have had 3.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I would put in my back pocket, like being analytical about SCFC, is they got away with not being down 2. And they very well could have been down to the way the match flow was going. Now, to their everlasting credit, they not only reversed that, like right here, here's an outstanding opportunity, great save, but that's a goal if you don't make a plus save. And Dos Santos makes a plus save. And then, of course, you've got the next one coming up where you've got the big foul. But honestly, the foul that was created didn't materially impact the chance or the shot. So if he just doesn't do that, it's a goal and it's 2-0. That's a highlight that's coming up, I know. But so that was one thing that did stand out. It's like, yeah, we were down 1. I don't own 1. San Diego FC was down 1, but it could have been 2. It could have been 3.
And
I mean,
this is
here
a
of
play
this.
that
Yeah, there's
he
a great
should have
one.
scored that.
Yeah, that's tough. He doesn't. Where's his angle to shoot? Like right there.
Boom, right there with
He
the
has
right,
a right
with
leg.
the right.
You have a right leg.
Yeah.
Use
Like-
it, poke it. You're going to create chaos anyway. It's either going to be rebounded. He's either going to trap it, and he's going to trap it anyway, or you're going to get a corner. Those 3 options you have, but you waited too long to only limit yourself to 1. Who knows? You just have a chirri shot, as we say in Spanish, just a little shot, and it just squeezes right through. Like,
I honestly thought that he kind of got in his head a little bit. He wanted to kind of angle his positioning to the left to just get an easy shot, and the ball was a little too fast, maybe like it sped up a little bit too much, and he didn't anticipate it. This should have been kind of like the shot with the right foot, but he waited a little too long, and then it got too late. Like he's got the angle, but then the goalkeeper like salió bien, like he came out good and made it safe.
trying to find. We had the great young Ryan shooting for us. Jeez, like, what a what an honor. What an honor, to be honest. But he did have just kind of the sequence, and you see just like the wheels turning for honors on this play. Thus their window. It's not as tight as soccer's overtime, even though that's not tight.
Well, it's because I don't
sometimes.
make you do all this stuff with all these like freeze frames and all sorts of graphics.
I literally do this to myself.
We just kind of like play one of Eddie's.
Yeah. shout out Andrew. I wish I could just recruit him for this.
Yeah.
But yeah, you
probably
just
could.
boom coming in, and again, just that timing. You see him just the body composure is just looking for that left, looking for the left.
Yeah, he's trying to get it. He's trying to chip him.
La lengüita de fuera también.
Yeah, right. I mean,
Like tongue outside.
yeah, he's got a little Jordan going. To his credit, he tries to chip him, and just he got in too close.
Yeah.
And that was the whole thing. It either needed to be a right-footed toe poke, or he doesn't have a move. He's in too tight. He did what he tried to do, and I give him all the credit in the world. As Taylor Bond once said to me, it's a lot easier from the press box than when you're down there trying to do it yourself. And I think in the run of, as I was watching it, I was thinking, when was his real chance to shoot? And, give the keeper credit. They narrowed him into a funnel.
Try to do what Messi did yesterday.
Jeez. Well, I should have also been
That would've
nominated.
No problem.
Yeah.
But here, section 1 something.
37-38.
37-38. Frontera SD goes wild for a phantom goal. The non-answer to who scored the first goal.
Yeah, I got hugged so hard for this. And then next to me, Amir was like, no.
That would have been a goal for Patty McNair. By the way, happy Patty McNair's Day for everyone. Like, shout out to him.
There's more than one?
Yeah, there's more than one Patty McNair.
I'm so sorry.
But yeah, so I mean, this gets called back. This would have been the tying goal. And I mean, you're in that section. Everyone was going crazy, but then you see the flag up. Like, what a buzzkill.
Yeah, buzzkill.
One of two goals disallowed. But here again, SDFC is just demanding of Columbus. Columbus is inviting the pressure, and that's the thing with this matchup. It was a lot of mirroring of the same style, but different. Same but different. 3-5-2, 4-3-3. They just kind of come together in this puzzle where it melds. Again, here now in the second half.
Offside.
Oof.
Yeah.
Honors. Again, dangerous.
And at halftime before this, like, Columbus did dominate that first half, in my opinion. I think they dominated possession. This is a team that's literally kind of mirroring San Diego FC is mirroring what they do as well, right? They come out, they play with the 3 center back line. They're all about
We're
possession.
trying to do what they do.
And they've done it longer, and they've done it very excellently in MLS. So this was going to be a very back and forth match, and we saw it. Like, it was action on both ends, and again, like, Anders Dreyer had another goal and called offsides, and again, so I think there was 3 offsides goals so far.
Well, I love the solutions that the offense was coming up with, and they continued to attack. They continued to hold. They really reversed the flow of the match, and then here we get the red card. And once again, Dreyer is the one who he's working really, really hard out there. He's accelerating in that sense. It's Messi-like that you see him accelerate onto those long balls and explosively create opportunities. But right there, I think this was just a very straightforward call.
100%.
And 11v10 the rest of the way. And then, another good, here he comes again. There's that indoor feel that I had right there. Like, keeping it low, nice little skipper. But it's just moments later that we're going to get to the corner.
Yeah, and again, like, this is the moment where you start to think, okay, the momentum's turning. Like, it's gonna come. It's gonna be here. Su Majestad, His Majesty goal is gonna appear at Snapdragon Stadium. It's just a matter of time, and it's really in the control of San Diego FC. But then, to the credit of Columbus Crew, they didn't sit back. Here the tying goal, the answer again to the trivia question: who was the first San Diego FC goal scorer in Snapdragon history? That is Oni Valakari, who again, number 8 for a reason. Like, he's gonna be good if he continues this pace. There's been times where it hasn't been his best showing, slipping up a couple times over in Salt Lake. Did contribute to Ibarsten's last goal, but here I think I miscalled it the flight of the Valakaris, but it's the
Valakari was deadly when he came on, and I mean he gets a goal, and then he gets another one after that corner kick again from the corner spot, right? Like
weapon.
almost like so. I mean, when you have a midfielder that is going to be that tall, like I think he's definitely going to be making impacts, especially coming off the bench. I mean, dude, he's what 6'1", I think.
Impressive
for a midfielder that's tall, and he has hops too, so he's able to win balls in the air. And I mean, I think that's definitely going to be a weapon that Mikey Vadas is going to try to use now.
Well, it's great to see that he's got opportunities to rotate through, and it doesn't just have to be Boateng. That he's got youth, he's got opportunity. Now here comes my boy. This is the guy that made me a fan when I was following LAFC. Diego Rossi definitely was my favorite player in MLS. 2019, and so close. That was shot right at me. Like if there's some way to zoom, like that flight of the ball is right where my eyesight was, and it was like, oh nope, too high. But wow.
That's Tony's dream whenever he's at a game. Like, he just wants to catch a ball.
Yeah.
When we're at Coachella, like, he literally stood behind the goal and was ready. Like, I just want one.
You never know when the opportunity is going to come.
I mean, if you really look at the flight of this ball, Tony, that would have knocked Sonny off of the ladder.
Oh man, Sonny's like doing wild shit at Front Wave Arena. Like he's going for it. He's providing the people with entertainment. I love it. Shout out to Sonny.
Yeah, this was another close call from
Yeah, a great save.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, absolutely could have been another. So at this point, right from from like 10 to 40, Columbus is so much in charge. Could have been up 2, could have been up 3 in an unlucky world. And then from about the 42nd minute till the end of the match, it's just relentless attack, chance after chance after chance for San Diego. And really, when I reviewed the full game film and even looking at these, it's a miracle they didn't score. And Mighton is another player I am very excited to continue to watch.
Minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know why it took this long to get some minutes from Alex Mighton. I mean, I've been begging to try to see him play already. And I don't think he disappointed. Obviously, he didn't get a goal, but I think he's very fast. I think he's very aggressive. He's good on the ball. I think if you put him in the 60, 70th minute when some defenders are on heavy legs, he can make a difference. Is he the starting potential? Who knows?
Down the road.
He's still young. I mean, there's still a couple more injuries to happen throughout the season. It's a long season. I think he has
star potential.
He does. He definitely does.
But that's what's got me so intrigued and excited. Like you said, you rotate out your veteran, wingers, wingbacks. Yeah. You put in youth right there, in left back, right back, and then you can sub in the vets later in the game. Now, you can flip that later in the year, and in a situation where the team's down, you can inject more youth, more speed. You've got weapons off the bench. You've got Alvarado, who's an interesting combo that you can use off the bench. So I'm really impressed with what they've been able to put together in such a short time. And you would have thought that we really would have seen the leaks by now.
Yeah,
and I'm sure we will. I'm sure sometime in the next month or two, it'll be like, oh, there it is. There's the back door.
We might see it this weekend.
We might see it this weekend. Who knows? Who knows? But everything they've done to date is so encouraging. And then when you think about what they still have in wherewithal in terms of their opportunity to improve the club over the course of the summer, now, I don't know. I came into the year going like, if SDFC was good enough to fight for a playoff spot, like whether they made it or not, fight for a playoff spot, I thought that would be a pretty good first season for SDFC.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, what about number 1? St. Louis City SC did it 2 seasons back.
Yeah.
I mean, LAFC came into the league and was a dominant club right away. And then they got Vela and they were ready to challenge for the Shield. Like, if we had KDB to this team that it couldn't challenge for something, like this seems
100%.
like a pretty good team right now. I'm sure a league will come at some point, but right now it's really encouraging.
It's one of the things that I really think that SDFC is going to be able to do is really take this league by storm. And I think that's the wrinkle that is needed in terms of being successful as a expansion team. Is just have a different style of MLS play, a different way of going about things. And we're still rolling on X. We're still rolling, so hang on there.
All right,
we'll be right back.
Okay.
All right,
we finally exhausted. I think some radio people just kind of, again, just it's very open here in terms
Uh-huh.
of what happens on the airwaves.
Uh-huh.
So anybody has access, anybody can cut. We've had NWSL come in and cut our,
Really?
internet. No, it's not up.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you, MLS, for that. But
Ah.
We're learning.
Okay.
How much we can push.
Yeah.
We've been able to show a good amount of highlights, actually.
Yes.
yeah,
So
I mean, we showed.
Very aggressive studio show
100%.
quality.
100%.
I have no more power for you on a rainy night. You're taking the highlights too far.
We sure have, and you know what? All right.
On St.
now-
Patrick's Day, no less.
I do want to kind of touch on a point, right, where right before halftime, Marcos Invarston, he gets
Oof.
injured.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't know the severeness. There should be media availability later this week, and we'll get to ask head coach Mikey Vadas on a status for Marcos Invarston, but it didn't look good. He got a shot off and just kind of grabbed his quad, and he said, "Hey, I need a sub." Like, when a player requests a sub right away, they kind of feel something, and it may not be good. It could be a couple weeks, maybe a month or two. Who knows? We'll find out later this week. But what were your thoughts? Like,
I think Marcus has had he's probably one of the only players you'd say has had a little bit of a struggling start.
Yeah. With a goal.
Yeah, and with a goal, admittedly, but it was very, very late in within one particular match. But I think most of the other times he's been struggling to
100%.
find his spots. He's not had it move smoothly through him if he's going to be a facilitator, and I haven't seen him be anywhere to Dreyer or Chuki's class for finish.
No,
Not
Varson's
yet.
that striker that you need to put it on a platter for him to score. Like, he's a poacher. He's a classic poacher, and we saw it in this game. He was dropping back a lot more because nothing's kind of going his way. Like, there's no balls getting to him in the box. So when a striker starts panicking, he starts dropping back to try to get something, wants to get involved. But if he didn't get injured in this one and didn't score, I could see Mikey Vadas may potentially rotating him. I think Tomas Angel looked better at the striker
Because
position.
Tomas Angel was struggling on the wing.
Yeah.
He looked struggling.
Yeah, I agree.
looked
I
lost on
didn't
the
like
wing.
it there, and
No.
then you put him back in the center, and all of a sudden it made so much more sense.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. I mean, just going back to the clip you played, that contributed to you blowing out your system of Mikey Vadas. He said if you're a little below average to above average, you're a candidate.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the range that Marcus has been
100%.
so far. So
100%.
I would kind of love to see Chucky, Angel, Dreyer
Mhm.
and see what that top three could put together. I mean, that's kind of a dream to me because the creativity up there again, and then you've got a Maiton, you've got a Valakari that can come in and shake things up. There's a lot of excitement there.
And the thing with Alex Maiton too is that he's one of these players where I think he just needs to learn a little bit more of the philosophy of the right to dream style of play, where it's not just go forward. Because he's like a wind-up toy. You're gonna wind him up and he's gonna go forward. He's gonna go the direction you ask him, and more than likely, it's gonna be trying to do the individual play and be a little bit selfish and not play by the book. And I think that's why Mikey Vadas has been holding off on him. And he's been able to be a game changer. Like, he comes in that speed, heavy legs, tired legs in the beginning of the season. He looked great at Coachella Valley. And that's why people are asking, why is he not here? Where is he? Like, I think they're being cautious with him. And then, especially with international breaks coming in, you're going to be forced to have a different lineup. You're going to have to be playing a different style. And we have it with Patty McNair, obviously in the defense.
And
Anibal Godoy announced for Panama. So, we're starting to see the folds of that's what happens when you have good players.
Right.
You have to go ahead and give them up. Ask San Diego Wave.
Yeah. No. So, I mean, that's going to be interesting without Patty McNair and Godoy, especially if Andres Reyes isn't back, right? But I want to ask you guys a question. If it wasn't for that red card, do you guys think San Diego FC would have still scored?
Yeah, I do. There were so many chances. What was the final XG? It's like close to 3, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was up there. And I mean, they went from the first half having maybe 1 shot on target to the second half having 7 shots on target.
Well, they didn't. I think they had maybe half an XG at halftime.
Yeah, it was bad.
So I mean, they were over 2 in the second half. They were really effective, and that's what you felt it in the supporter section. It just felt like almost like a drum or a chant. It just felt relentless, like dun 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 dun. We're gonna keep at it. When is this one gonna go in? When's gonna be the one that goes in? it felt like we were going to score 5 goals. And honestly, I think, again, reviewing it, they were very effective at pressuring. Columbus really didn't, other than that one Rossi half breakaway.
Yeah.
Right. They really didn't have anything in the second half.
You know what surprised me? Even with 10 men down at the end, they still tried to score. That's the type of team that Columbus Crew is.
Yeah, they're
Like,
pretty
they could've-
cool. I
they
like
could've- They
them.
could have
Yeah.
parked the
Yeah.
bus.
Yeah,
and
they're the
that's
first team I liked that we played.
100%. And that's something that
True,
we've seen.
yeah. Nothing to like about St.
Mikey
Louis.
Vadas hasn't done that. He hasn't tried to park the bus. They tried to go for the win. This game went from a game to being happy with the tie to being upset that it was a tie.
Yeah.
Like this was
For
a
sure.
game that they definitely should have won. Possession wise at halftime, Columbus was up 55% to like 45%. This ended up being 53% for San Diego FC at the end of the match. So 30 minutes at the end with an extra man like definitely helps out. But I agree. Like you had to take out Embarson. You put Angel in the middle. You make the changes. Alvarado had a pretty good match as well coming in. And I think this team has definitely they have a lot of weapons.
Well, at the home opener, when Chucky went out, I thought that for the rest of that match, the team didn't look like they had a lot of ideas.
Yes.
And I thought that it
Yes.
was going to be like, oh, it's going to be a tough slog until Chucky gets back. I don't know if we're going to score until Chucky gets back, or maybe we'll score 1, but it's going to be really hard. And instead, you get 3 in Salt Lake, and then you get 1 with a chance for 2, 3, 4, 5 on Saturday. So they have shown depth. They've shown versatility. They've got some youth with some dynamicism off the bench. That's great. And now I'm starting to dream about Angel is finding his way.
Yeah.
Here's a young guy who wasn't guaranteed a start in this league.
Yes.
And all of a sudden he's finding his way. Now, Marcus is one of the original Right to Dream guys, but does he take a little bit more of an elder statesman role on the team? And he's a substitute. He's a training ground player, but Angel is the exciting player that is getting things going. I feel like MLS is the kind of league that when you find a young player that's good, you play that player and you just do that thing, because this is where you can see guys of this level, and Dreyer is one of them, right? Like, have the ability to truly be dynamic and impact the match.
And just a little bit of history on Tomas Angel, right? Like, he's doing things the right way. He's a legacy player with his dad being a superstar in his own right. So already he has that expectation, but he took it upon himself to say, and this was his first interview with Phoenix Rising, second Phoenix Rising mentioned in the episode, yikes, where he was like, I came here to get minutes. I came here to play. And for a young player to say that, like, it's just maturity to say, okay, I'm going to go down. I'm going to work my way up. And now he's being rewarded. Now he's in SDFC. Now he's having more playtime. Now he gets to develop and learn from a Chucky Lozano, from Marcus and Varson. He just needs to soak all that up. And if he can do that, he's going to be a very important player for the squad.
I agree.
I think Valakari starts next week, especially with Godoy out. Like, who else do you start? I think Valakari's earned it. Mike Vadas did say, like, hey, you have to make an impact. What more of an impact can you make in back-to-back weeks, right? You get an assist last weekend, 2 weekends ago, and last week you scored the goal. Like, I think Valakari earns a start, especially with Godoy out next week. So I'm excited to see what he can do from starting in a game. It's very different. There's players that are a lot better coming off the bench, and there's players that are a lot better when they start. So I'm excited to see if he's one of those players that can make an impact from the start.
I saw you had some pictures of Yepe up there, and I just had a thought about him, which is, I understand this is a sophisticated audience here, San Diego Punto Football. We are talking about, the real ones here, the folks who know the game. But I would describe Yepe Tverskov as your barrier for entry to know whether you are down with soccer or not.
Yeah.
Because he is doing so many good things. Never mind the official, who obviously doesn't agree. Right there, he's just like, I don't know what you're talking about, Craig.
Welcome to CONCACAF.
Right,
Yeah,
that's
that's what it is.
That's a great picture. MLS, kind of MLS, right there. But Tverskov is a player that if you're not of at least a level of sophistication, you don't know why he's captain.
Yeah.
You don't know what he does, what he's there for. He's the most overrated player on the team. What does he do? Does he score? Does he get assists? Does he do anything? What does he do? I don't know. Why is he important? How do you say his name? I don't get it. But if you see it, then you get it. That he's the metronome.
Yes.
That he is the conductor. He's he's the not drill sergeant, but he's the guy that's keeping everybody in position.
Yeah.
Places everybody.
Yeah.
That's Yepe Dvorskov, and he's really, really good. And I kind of feel like if you get that, you get it.
Yes.
That's what I mean. It's like if you are sophisticated enough to get that he's good, you probably do get soccer. Actually, you're probably better than the average fan.
Yeah.
When it comes to getting soccer,
It's the art of the center defensive midfielder. You're not gonna hear his name too much throughout the game, and when you do, it's either for a very good thing or a very bad thing. If you don't hear his name at all, because he's quietly doing his job right, and that's what Jeppe does all the time. This man has the patience. This man can stand on the ball and being attacked by 2 players, and he doesn't panic.
right?
So I mean, he's made a couple mistakes,
Yeah.
but he
learning.
recovers for them, and that's why you put a trust in your teammate, right? Because they're able to kind of cover your back too. So
That's why he's one of the only players that's played every single minute for San Diego FC. Like that's your guy. He's the ring general. He's the drummer of the band. Like that's if without him there is no band.
he's the reason MLS teams are having a difficulty scoring on San Diego FC.
100%.
It's that patience within him and his 2 center backs, Patty McNair and Chris McVeigh, who's had a fantastic start to the season as well. They're the reason. Like they have that chemistry already, and that's very hard to find, especially for teams that have been together for years.
The architect. That's what he is.
100%.
Yes.
He's the architect, and it's not always sexy, but he's the one who's built the floor plan and is out there enacting it, and then it all comes together. But it comes together through him. So, just if all I'm saying out there is, if you like Yepe Dvorskov, you get it. Like you get it. You're one of the real ones. So, this has been so much fun to watch this team through 4, and to be like, this is our league now. We're in this league. We're actually doing stuff. We got 8 points. People are talking. And people are talking. STFC. It's exciting.
Hey,
They're
we do
making
here
it
on
for
Sunday
themselves.
with Football. This is what we do. We talk soccer. Like again, I feel like we have to just like warn people when we talk with Jonas, Mikey, like, hey, this is a safe space, guys. Like we can talk ball here. Like let's get to it. Like we are okay. We're not gonna have people complaining in the comments about, I don't know, the things that you dealt with on the comment section. Like thank you for powering through. Yeah, I mean, just
Never mind the comment.
that too. It's just understanding.
Why do they do something different? Because I don't like draws.
Imagine just
Can
you
they
should have
please-
gone rogue one
Can
day.
they please
Just
remove draws?
And they, if they really want to attract the American fan, they'll stop doing that. They should do like shootouts.
how do you pitch
That's what they
draws?
should do.
How do you pitch draws to somebody? How do you pitch draws to the American fan?
You don't.
You can't. Unless you go to 3 overtimes.
You just try to explain it when the match is over. Actually, it's funny. I was talking to my dad about this, who is, over 80 years old and has not been an outdoor fan in his life.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, one of the things that you have to understand about the sport of soccer, I'm just sorry, but I think it's true, is like, you don't have much time.
Yeah.
You don't get to stop. You don't get to call a timeout and pull everyone over and huddle up and pull out the whiteboard, or you go call out, okay, fly XYZ 24, go. Like you don't get to do any of that. You get 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you stop for a little bit, and then you get 45 minutes, and then you're done.
No commercials.
Yeah, that's it. No stop.
Yeah.
You don't stop. But so I when I'm watching these clubs all the time, they want to score 17 goals. Like they're trying constantly to do it. The other team's trying constantly to do it.
Just one ball.
But you only have so much time, and both teams are good. And so the ball moves around, and like you get your shots. But when that one gets away in soccer, you just know, you're like, oh, that's the one that got away. That one that was wide open, that sitter that was missed, whatever, the header that was right there, and just it. You go, oh, that's probably 2 points right there, because you just don't have time. You don't have time. Basketball, you've got time. Baseball, you bring in the pinch hitter, you got time. You take out the starter, do whatever. Americans are used to these really slow sports where you've got the whole night to try and figure it out, and 54 commercial breaks, and all the time in the world to slow everything. Hang on, slow down, wait, hang on. And soccer, you just don't have that much time. It's 45 minutes. You get a good idea going. I mean, this match is a perfect example. If it was a 120-minute match,
Usually also get unlimited substitutions.
yeah.
I'm sure that Phoenix Rising goal was worth 3 goals, right?
Right. So, anyways, it's just one of those things. But it occurred to me talking to somebody who isn't as integrated.
Yeah.
It's like it's one of the things you understand, and maybe we've got a lot of new MLS fans, and it's just like a lot of time to do what you want to do. So if you get it done, that's why you're psyched.
I think there's been a lot of education happening around San Diego in terms of what inside and outside the pitch just kind of decorum is. So we welcome everybody just on the bus. Like, it's okay. We're working through it. We're learning a new league. It's fine. It's a-okay. Also, that's why I'm so opposed to water breaks. Health. Come on, guys. Like,
yeah.
What are we
on,
doing?
Fight through.
What are we doing? Come
Fight
on.
through.
110 degrees. Come on.
Now listen. Right. I guess fine.
Let's see.
Good question.
Let's see. Who would have your vote to avoid? Also, Charlie, outdoor, totally different. But let's see. When to recruit one soccer's player, just that conversion. I mean, you have a couple of players. Well, one Juan Salazar, who is an outdoor player, converted.
Yeah.
So one right there.
I think honestly, Luis Morales would probably be the one that would immediately transfer to outdoor the best.
Yeah, I think a center, a false 9. He is bulkier. He does have speed. He's
got speed. He's got a very strong shot.
Yeah,
he's pretty electric. Back in the day, I thought of Scoto. And like 5 years ago when Loyal came in, I thought Serta could have been somebody who could be a center back.
Yeah.
He's a little bit older. That was 5 years ago, but those are a couple of guys I would think of now. Charlie, the thing about players like Costa and Charlie is that they have the opportunity in indoor to have the space to do what they can do best.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like the outdoor pitch is too big for a player like that.
Yes.
And there's too much room for them to get erased physically from what they do best. But it's in those quick, tight moments that you see the brilliance. And I'll just finish this, Jonathan. Good question with something. Who was it that was telling me about the conversation with Landon? But that, anyways, you remember Landon being with us and going away and being asked about like, well, what's the quality of that really? And he was like, no, these are some of the best players in the world. Yeah. And that's what Landon said straight up. Like, no, the touch here is better.
100%.
The touch here at MASL is better than MLS, is better than a lot of World Cup players. There's a lot of World Cup players that would struggle indoors.
Yeah.
And it sounds insane. But then when you hear a Donovan saying, you understand. Like, so there's a lot of things that a lot of guys couldn't do. Outdoor guys couldn't do indoors. But at the same time, the reason Acosta isn't a star or Charlie isn't a star outdoors is because their size.
Yeah.
It's they don't have the blinding speed to overcome the size difficulty they have. The what they do best is in a small space. It's not in a gigantic space.
I always thought Mitchell Cardinal would be able to play outdoor.
I agree with you.
He's got the height. Do you guys think Boris Pardo?
No.
In an outdoor
I
goalkeeper?
mean, in the day.
Yeah.
In the day,
Oh,
in the day.
yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
back in the day.
Yeah,
in
he's
the
not
day,
watching.
absolutely.
I am safe. I am safe from any just words. I'm pretty sure he is not
the great
watching.
Boris Pardo, all-time MASL wins leader.
Absolutely. By the way, go check out San Diego Sockers, who play this Saturday, March 22nd, Hispanic Heritage Day night. Be there or be,
And guess what? For Hispanic Heritage Night.
Yes, absolutely.
Tony's
Yeah, I
gonna
heard all about that already.
We'll
be at the Wave game. High five.
Along with known Hispanic Brian Farmer.
High five, Craig.
I love that.
I mean,
I love it's just the balance. You can't have too much Hispanic. It's a-okay.
We could give you Anthony Medina, but
no, I mean we'll you give me who I have, and we'll have
Farmer's great
as much fun as we can.
I'll miss you guys, but I'll be, of course, that way.
Yeah,
let's go.
I got it.
Yeah, you got it. You had him in there for a good minute.
Yeah,
he was
like this.
Joker Nate. Oh,
yeah,
I was
you're
just
good.
the wrong way.
You're good. I'll be at
Sorry.
Wave too.
Nice.
We did have somebody other than Ryan over pitch side for SDFC, and just kind of wanted to get his take. He's been working photography as well for something about the football. Like the fact that they would allow us two photographers, just photographers for SDFC is fantastic. So thank you for that. Let's go ahead and just check in with our buddy Abe Cepeda, who again was there pitch side as he stands up in the back green area. You can't see this whenever players come in for Soccer's Overtime. You can't see them come in, right?
I see nothing.
I
I just see sometimes you write in the chat, "Hey, we'll get you in," and then I'm like, "Oh, someone's there."
Well, he's here.
Hey, there he is.
Hey guys, how you doing?
By the way, he's been there the whole time.
Yeah, he has been here. He has been
stuck
waiting.
in isolation.
I saw you with a background. I thought you had that, but it's okay. You'll be fine. You know, you were usurped today by Craig Elsten, but I think you can give.
They
a pass.
asked me. I didn't demand it. They asked.
No, it's okay. I'm in Los Angeles anyways.
Oh well. Then what do you bring it up for?
Yeah, I mean, he was.
You see how he is? 5 years, Craig. 5 years of putting up with this guy. You have like 1 or 2.
Sorry,
you got some catching up to do.
It's all good.
But Abe, you were there for the SDFC game. I mean, you were there also for the presentation of the flow ball, which is a new tradition. As well. You rubbed elbows with half of the Padres roster. I mean, people were excited for that.
Everyone except the catcher. Kind of surprising. I was like thinking about it in my head. I was like, okay, they have 11 people there, only two starters, 1 reliever, but no catcher.
Yeah, that's pretty much a good scouting report on the 2025 team.
That's true. But no, the team looked pretty solid. I think that first like 30 minutes, yeah, for sure. I thought it was going to be like a tough match just because Columbus was running all over them. But to like manage to stay in it, it's kind of been the theme of this team all year, just staying in it, still pushing and trying to get a goal like through a full 90. That's pretty impressive. And then I think they need a win at some point at home this year, but a draw is still good against a really good team like Columbus.
No, I love that, and the fact is that this team is really again walking the walk in terms of everything, in terms of putting a team together and putting together something special. And what I will say is that the game speed is what's been just taken aback. I mean, you're down there, Abe. Like the game speed is absolutely insane. We watched a lot of San Diego Loyal. We watched a lot of, but even then, like there's a notch that MLS hits that I will give credit to. There's definitely a level to it.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's pretty dang fun.
Right?
It's not bad. People want to dunk on MLS all the time. Oh, I'm an EPL fan. That's pretty good.
Abe?
Yeah,
What is
I
it like?
agree. I think that like comparing Premier League to MLS, sure, you're gonna get like some issues at the goalkeeper that happens at some point every year in the MLS. I think that's how San Diego FC scored their first ever goal. But like those corner kicks scare me. Like there was a woman that got hit in the side of the head. I don't know if you saw it, Craig, during like pre-game. She like got smacked and then like it. I was like, I got really nervous. I was like, man, this is being a photographer here is kind of scary. Like those balls are scary.
Safety is our number one concern.
Yeah, absolutely. You
Back
gotta
at
put
the
that
Loyal
Dragon Stadium.
Back at the Loyal days, they had the
have arrows,
signs.
too.
Beware, flying balls may hit you. That they had that at Torero. I don't know if they have it at Snapdragon.
That's a little joke that
Yeah.
Tony and I are sharing from Front Wave Arena.
Yeah, 100%. You want to see some violence in terms
No
of
nets.
just no nets.
Oh,
Please enjoy
shit.
the danger zone behind each net.
It's pretty intense. And let me tell you, those balls are also inflated to the max. It does not tickle.
Damn.
But we digress.
Abe, do you have any other thoughts about SDFC? Because I know we have you saved up also for San Diego Wave, because you were there for San Diego Wave.
Yes.
And that itself is again a mirror of what SDFC did in a lot of ways.
Impressive.
A good turn. But anything else, Abe, for SDFC from you? Sounds good. I'm gonna put you away. Are you okay with that? Look at this. Magic
Back in your cave, Abe.
back you go.
Do you guys want to hear from Tomas Angel in English? There was one English question.
Yeah.
Your very own Tony Sanchez. Guy speaks more Spanish than English. But let's hear from Tomas Angel.
Please.
For the first couple questions in English. Hi, I'm Antonio Sanchez, San Diego Football. Could you tell us about the game as you experienced it a little bit more on the wing coming into the middle? Some difficulties in facing a backline of 3 with Columbus.
Yeah, obviously we knew that we were confronting a team that was very good with the ball. We had a initial plan of press, and obviously because of that nice play style they found various routes of how to break our press. So I think we had to suffer a little in the beginning, and probably from the minute 30 until the last minute, we were on top. We had multiple occasions of scoring. We made them suffer a lot, and I think it's a statement that we can play against any rival from the league and play 1 against 1.
And I love that.
I agree.
That's a great comment.
They can keep up with anyone in this league.
That's what was so exciting is as he said, they made us suffer. We suffered for 30 minutes and then we turned it around. They were doing the things against our thing that we don't like. And think about how many young teams like that have a thing, right?
Yeah.
A press or a this or a that. And like, well, we broke your thing. Those are the matches you're supposed to lose.
Exactly.
You're an expansion team. They've broken your press. Okay, and then you lose. And then it's the learning lesson. Well, you lost 3-1 to Columbus Crew and figure out how to do a better job. But this club found answers mid-match. They didn't even get to halftime before they had turned it around, gotten on the front foot, and started dictating pace.
They're really
I
showing.
was just making sure you weren't.
High five.
Thank you.
They're love that. They're really again not putting up any excuses because they have every excuse in the book to use because they're an expansion team. Mikey Vada's first time head coach, first time in elevation, first time against the champions, first time against the champion before the champion in Columbus Crew. And every single game that they have faced so far, they've been able to answer every question asked. And they've been able to pass, I'd say again, with flying colors. A Columbus Crew match is not going to be easy. A Columbus Crew that fights, other teams lose that game against 10 men.
I mean,
Columbus
aren't
Crew.
they one of the better clubs in the whole league?
Yeah, I mean, they're
yeah,
top 3.
One of the
right now in
best
Eastern
coaches
Conference.
in the whole league.
Yep. Same thing with Real Salt Lake.
Club
same
that's
thing.
won a trophy 2 years in a row.
Yes. Yes.
This is and the whole opening set for SDFC open at Galaxy, right? You know, St. Louis, you wondered, you didn't know, but then go to Altitude, go to Salt Lake. That's supposed to be a game you lose, and then Columbus is a game you're supposed to lose, and LAFC coming up is a game you're supposed to lose. Like if you just look at it from that classic standpoint of, you know, well, we're an expansion team. These are legacy clubs. These are the best clubs in the league. Best clubs in the league are supposed to teach you a lesson, and so far, SDFC is getting answers to those lessons.
You're an expansion team that lost their marquee signing, Chucky Lozano.
Yeah,
that could also be an excuse, saying, "Well, we lost one of our top leaders. We lost our guy. We lost Chucky. He's not available in the last 2 games." They're not putting that excuse. They're walking the walk.
They are currently walking so much and so well that they are in second place. Again, there is not a lot to go by. There's not a lot of there's not, the sample size isn't that large as of right now, but what is on paper and what is evidence is that the data is there. This is a good team. And I think that's a huge part of the success and is what Tyler Heaps has been able to do. And Tyler Heaps, again, is this at times not so silent rock star because he was the only guy at some point for SDFC. Like literally he was, marketing, he was painting, like, just the putting furniture in the office. Like it was
handing the TIFO.
I think he was the first person we ever identified. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, of like Right to Dream and just involved with SDFC. And he was like, yeah, I have experience with Right to Dream. It's like, oh, this guy's from Monaco. Like this dude's here. Like he chose San Diego for a reason. He is here. Like that's a get. And what he's been able to do and put this team together, just finding those wrinkles, those things that other people just overlook. He found Bombino. Like that's somebody who's now potentially a starter for somebody who should be a starter as well in this league and any other team. Like it's not a team like, again, in learning, this league, like Atlanta, where they cobbled together a team of substitutes, and they have a pretty decent team as well. Like, this is a team that has a star at every single position, at every single third of the field, and that's really good to see. Putting him in second place, and not even just a bad second place. Like, again, this is impressive. San Diego's doing.
San Diego FC is an analytics team. Like, that's how they got put together. And I mean, so far they're kind of showing that it does work in soccer. It does work in MLS. And I mean, who would have thought that this group of players, before you saw them play, everyone had the same question and said, I don't know, guys. I don't know how this is gonna look. And I will say this, like I said that from the start, like, this is either going to be a really good team or a very bad team, no in between. And so far they're kind of proving that, like, they're a very good team so far.
It's gonna come. They're gonna get caught up.
Oh,
Inevitably it will,
fun.
and I
It's
hope
gonna
everyone
happen.
chills when that happens, and recognizes that this is a long season, and every MLS club suffers at some point.
What's one thing we learned about sports? It's not about how you start. It's not about how you're in the middle. It's about peaking at the right time. And we've had those conversations with Landon Donovan and Nate Miller in the past. Like, do you feel like your team peaked at the right time, closing in playoffs, coming on a six game winning streak and into playoffs? Obviously, they couldn't win playoff game, but that's a different story. But it's about peaking at the right time when it comes to soccer and anything in general. And I mean, so far, San Diego FC, hopefully this isn't the best. Hopefully it just gets better. But I mean, 2 ties, 2 wins.
But I mean, you look ahead, right? At Austin, then
Yeah.
LAFC, then Seattle, like, then you go to Colorado. Like, this is a tough schedule to start the year. And I think everyone would have been at least reasonably steeled for a club that starts off toward the bottom third of the table and then builds momentum through the summer, and gets to middle of the pack or maybe fights for the top. But instead, they've gotten off to this really, really good start. And so that brings me back to Vares, and that brings me back to the play style. That brings me back to, they are putting teams in this league on the back foot. They are defying the expectations of the roster that was built on paper. So all of that is really, really encouraging for the team. But with that, they could still get into a spot where they have a hard time picking up points over the course of the next 3 or 4 matches. And if that happens, especially without Chucky, like, I don't think we should start to waver. Like, I think they've shown us the bones of the club they can be.
Yeah.
And even if they waver a little bit here in the next 3 to 4 matches, I think we know what the spring can bring.
And we don't know what everybody's capable of yet. Again, this team isn't fit. They came into the season coming together after meeting each other for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And again, another layer of what's impressive about San Diego FC. We got called very negative for San Diego FC, but no, it's very, very basic. And just like, this is the evidence that we have now. Everybody was predicting them 15th bottom. Like, that's it. Like, in the Western Conference. But you just don't know anything about them. Everything that they've been asked is being answered with flying colors, down to the fact that they were criticized for a lot of different things. You mentioned here, Alex Garcia is mentioning they didn't look good at Coachella. Sure, they didn't.
First 2 matches, they did not look good. Their defense looked really bad.
Yeah, but guess what? The night before the first match, we heard it from Coach Mikey Vadas on the side. He was telling us, like, I just worked these guys. Like, they are on heavy legs. This is the last game of conditioning. And for anybody that's played any sports, like, conditioning is just, you don't touch the ball in soccer. Like, I hated Mondays because Mondays was conditioning. You don't touch the ball. And you tell a goalkeeper you're not going to touch the ball for a whole 2-hour training. Like, what are we doing? Like,
put away your gloves, man. You don't need them.
Chose the goalkeeping position because I don't run. Like, that's not like, okay, let's go ahead and have training at the beach. Just fuck. That's the worst. But this is a team that is getting put together. It's coming, and it's still a diamond in the rough potential. Like, it's already shining. Like, it's already a diamond. You just have to polish it a little bit, and hopefully you maintain fitness. And I like this comment from Tanya too. Hey, it seems like expansion teams are pretty good here in San Diego.
Yeah.
I will give this in San Diego FC the whole innovation thing, and sure, the flow. This is why we're called, sure, whatever, marketing speak. But San Diego teams do seem to have an innovative edge to them, either San Diego Wave and San Diego FC. Just kudos to San Diego teams on that.
Both clubs had really good teams on the pitch to start. I think that goes a huge way toward establishing the identity of a club when the other work they might have done might have been a little bit hit and miss with maybe a little more miss than hit.
Yeah.
And if the club was 0-4 right now with 1 goal scored, you might not feel the same way.
Yeah.
But what they've done on the pitch, and again, Wave did that as well. They got a great player in Morgan who had a career year right away. They were good right away, and that made everyone excited, And that's what's happening here with SDFC. They've got a good club right away with the potential to be really good. I mean, if the summer window opens the way it could, like this club has a chance to be a national newsmaker within MLS all year long.
Careful with the name Morgan. Our chat's very sensitive to that name, apparently. So,
So I mean, if you want to get into it, that was actually controversial a couple of weeks ago. Like people got into it. The most spike we've had is, I think you said it, right?
I said San Diego Wave bringing Alex Morgan to San Diego is bigger than anything San Diego FC had done so far. And that was before.
Well, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that's it.
That was the take.
That was the take.
Global soccer icon Alex Morgan.
Yeah.
Y'all go look up her Instagram followers, okay? And compare it to anybody.
This is a double one.
There we go. And I saw it right away. I spotted it right away. Compare her to anybody in what does she got? 9.8 million.
Yeah,
Is there an MLS player that has 9.8 million followers?
Lionel Messi's like at 50.
Okay, I mean, Lionel Messi.
Yeah, but in San Diego,
come on,
Chucky has 1.2. So.
Okay.
If he doesn't score that goal against Germany, he would have half of that.
At the time as well,
yeah,
she was still top of game, top of sport.
Yeah.
So Beckham to MLS.
Yeah.
Morgan to San Diego. It's different because Morgan was already there, but you know what I'm saying? Like to launch something, you do it with a superstar, a global icon. I remember having a big fight about this on the radio in the first 2-3 months when I was like, Alex Morgan's the biggest star. I remember I said that. It's the biggest star in San Diego. I was like, what are you talking about? Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny Machado. And I was like, literally like, go look up their Instagrams.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Go look them up. Go look up Alex's. Oh, it's 5 times bigger than the biggest one? Oh, what do you know? It's a superstar.
Have you ever heard that Zlatan LeBron James story that he tells?
No, wait, maybe, but
so
please do it.
So while he was here in LA Galaxy, Zlatan, LeBron James sends him a LeBron James jersey. Zlatan receives, signs it, Zlatan, and sends it back. All right, like that's the scope that we're talking about.
Hey, listen, soccer's the people's game. I can't say that enough. And the best stars in the world are the biggest stars of the world.
Yeah.
So
I love it. We'll hear from goal scorer of Olim Valakari, but just your take on just the status of soccer as a San Diegan, as somebody with a handle 619 Sports. Just what is the arrival, the eventual slow burn of where we're at now in 2025?
I can't wait to see where we are in 5 years. That's where I am.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's still this. I only know this from my previous job. Like when we're in this silo, we feel like everybody knows and understands soccer, and that obviously it's going to ascend and be the biggest thing, and it's going to rival the Padres going forward. And then take a step outside the silo, and there's a lot of people that still don't understand the sport. I went on Fox 3 weeks ago, and their questions were, what is offsides? Follow-up question, why? Like, why not just not do that? It seems bad. The next interview was, what about a draw? Do we really want to do this? So like that's the level that the people who are at the #1 morning show in the town believe is the knowledge level of your base San Diegan.
Yeah.
Is I don't understand the sport. I don't get it. What is it? Why does it work this way? Are these players good? I mean, it sounds crazy here on Two Balls and a Mic, but like,
yeah, but it's
what it is.
Yeah,
you're one of the 20,000 people of the 34,000 people who went to Snapdragon Stadium because they heard there was a team and there's a thing and it's a stuff. And I saw all the ads and I've seen the trolley go by with these faces all these months. And I'm going to go to the mat. I'm going to go. And I went, and fireworks went off, and people, there were drums and there were chants. I don't know. Was this chant good? Was this chant good? I don't know. And stuff happened, but nobody scored. Are these players good? What is this? Is this good? Yeah. Is this bad? Is this in between? But here's the thing. I'm kind of doing a little bit there, but match by match, drip, 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 water on rock. Another person is going to wake up and go, yeah, Peter Verskov's really good. Mm-hmm. You know, another person is going to wake up and go, oh, whoa, Dreyer, this is exciting. Mm-hmm. Another person is going, and for San Diegans, another person is going to show up at 4:00 for a 7:30 match and open up the tailgate and fry the carne asada and pull out pull out their speaker and play their music and pull out the beer and mix the drinks and get the friends and have the feeling and understand that feeling, because that feeling that Chargers fans thought they've lost forever still exists.
Yep.
It's still there. The chance to be there. Con la gente, en la comunidad. Be there with your people. Be there in your community. Fired up, getting excited, laughing, singing, playing the songs, doing whatever you're doing, and then getting in there and having your experience and having that communal experience. We're together for this time. We're fighting for our team. Did we win? Did we lose? Where were we? We're together. And what soccer is that's not baseball is that it is, once you get it, perpetual motion. It is, again, a very fast game. It's 45 minutes. It goes by in a blink, and then it's a quick break, and then it's 45 more, and then you're out of there. Mm-hmm. And it's never going to be a 3-hour, 20-minute baseball game, and is this thing ever going to be over? Honestly, the slowest sport in the world is the National Football League. So if I'm really going to, I shouldn't impugn my beloved baseball. How about a football game that has 23 penalties and 6 reviews? And we have to keep going back to, our rules expert, Gene Steratore. Can you explain, was the finger underneath the ball or was the ball underneath the finger? And it's like, no, man, football, the shared community experience is what, and that was a beautiful moment. I was there for this moment when the Chavos tent went wild. There's my man, Adrian. I love him more than anyone.
Oh, man. Papi Chavo.
Papi Chavo, you're the absolute best. Need to find a way to get you back to Oceanside.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, that's it. That community, that shared experience. Soccer is the people's game. So I truly believe over time, this will happen. With success, this will happen. And almost even despite the efforts of the club, eventually the prices will find their median. Time will reveal what the price point is. Everything will come together over time. I'm really excited to see where this city is 5 years from now. Because as a guy who's been in the media, I think right now, there's almost nobody in San Diego media that is even remotely qualified to speak on the sport of soccer.
I have to agree. And this is with all respect and just an admiration that I have for people that have done it. And I think this is something I hope has come across to everybody who has done this job or been adjacent to it for so long. And it's that, look, 100%, you might be a professional at sports, but a professional in soccer, not saying that we are, but we can at least kind of get some of that. And I hope somebody comes along and does do that. And I point
You're two of the only professionals that exist in this town that covers soccer. And whether or not you're making enough to feel that you are professionals at this or not, you are. The fact that the MLS club gave you 2 photographers.
Yeah, here's one of them.
Should tell you, is he still in his cage? How are you feeling in there, Abe? Are you okay, Abe? Don't worry. They promised me a 90-minute show, so we're going to talk wave in the next 9 minutes. and then we're gonna be done just like that. So, or we're going till midnight. But enjoy your cave. Back in the UK.
Nah,
You'll
but I
be
mean,
called upon, Dobie, when we need you.
I gotta agree with you, Craig. Like, I mean, with time, people are gonna start tuning in more and more and
Yeah.
more. I mean, to the point where we're at work at our full time jobs, and people are actually having conversations about soccer, about San Diego FC. No one had that with San
I
Diego.
mean, the
Loyal,
newspaper
no one
doesn't
had
have a
them.
beat writer. They've
Mm-mm.
alternated between freelancers and their editor.
Yeah.
To cover the sport. And by the way, Ryan, if you're watching, like, I could do it tomorrow, but yeah,
I heard you're free.
quite unfortunately so, but I am. But hey, it's brought me into the garage, so
Yeah.
you know,
Hey,
Thank you again
there's always an upside.
you're on
for coming in. We'll break out the tequila next.
There's always an upside, gang.
Oh,
But
yeah.
no, listen, SDFC off to an incredible start. Everything has gone well, and I don't know a absolute lick about Austin. That's part of the fun thing for me right now. Is
Yes.
like I don't know anything about these MLS clubs.
Yes.
Rossi was the first guy so far that's been like, oh shit, I know Rossi. Like, here we go.
Yeah.
He's going to be a problem, you know, but like week by week. And that's what I love about this stuff, man. I love it. Some people don't like it. I don't get it. Like, oh, I don't want to learn all the. No, I love it. Like each week, we got new heroes, new villains. It's like having a great new show to watch.
Yeah,
you know?
I'll
It's-
tell you
it's
something
beautiful.
about Austin. The villain there might be a San Diegan, Brandon Vasquez, new striker for Austin
son of
FC.
a- Yeah.
$10 million signing off Monterrey from Mexico.
Tigres or Rayados?
Rayados.
Yeah.
Where
But-
Sergio Ramos is giving red
played-
cards
he
now,
played
getting
for
red
us,
cards
yeah.
again.
Played for a season. He left MLS to go to Mexico. Went back to MLS. Didn't get the minutes that he wanted over there. And now he's Austin's FC's main striker. Hasn't scored this season yet. Great striker. He had Pochettino was there at their last game and had a talk. There was a picture that went out viral that, talking to Brandon Vasquez, and
He's like, get it together because he's not doing well.
Yeah,
He's not
100%.
doing well.
If you want to
100%.
see me again, you better start scoring.
But that could potentially be the villain. A San Diegan scoring against San Diego FC. That was a player that a lot of people wanted San Diego FC to bring in.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. San Diego FC has different plans, and those plans have worked so far. Nobody can tell San Diego FC right now, you should still sign Brandon Vasquez. And that. They gave the fans Luca de la Torre.
Yes, they
San
did.
Diego
And he's
native.
been really good.
He's
Been
been fun
really
to
good.
watch. Absolutely
He
fun
played
to
a full
watch.
90, finally.
Yeah.
In
He
top-
was pretty sweaty at the end. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was. Yeah, he was, but he put on a shift.
Speaking about the players too, because again, we know soccer, we talk soccer, but like to tell me that I knew who Oni Valakari was,
Oh,
I don't. He played in Cyprus.
Cyprus?
Only Tyler Heaps knew about this.
Yeah.
Like only him was just like vacationing after long season in Monaco and just stumbled upon Cyprus soccer and was like,
Dude.
oh, who's this Finnish guy over
Tyler
here?
Heaps looked at old MLS players and said, who are their sons? Do they play soccer? Angel's dad played in MLS. Valakari's dad played in MLS. So he's like, okay, where's your son playing at Cyprus? Bring him over.
what's Cyprus known for? Like shellfish and money laundering.
The
I
hills.
think.
So people get banks, no?
like
some pretty good hills
like
out
some
there.
shady accounts might run through Cyprus, but
It's I think it's pretty close to the Mycenaean and just ancient Greece before just the Minoan culture. I think it's in that general area. Just very ancient peoples, but not known for soccer. I believe this is
until now.
until now.
Let's go, Oni.
All right, Oni Valakari here after scoring a goal for the first goal for San Diego FC in San Diego Snapdragon history.
You scored the first goal here at home for San Diego FC in its history. Can you take us through that moment of just turning their head? Was that supposed to be a free center, or it's just always intentional to go and find that back of the net for you?
During the week, we worked a lot on set pieces. We knew where the spaces are. We knew how they defend set pieces. We knew they're really space orientated, so we just have to make the correct runs. Everybody made the runs that they were supposed to do, and the ball just landed on my head. Happy that I could convert, and but the feeling that we have in the locker room, I think we were a little bit disappointed. Felt like two points lost. We tried to push for the second goal, but yeah, it didn't happen, and now we just recover and focus for us the next week.
Professional answer there.
For the next week. Cover for the next week. I like it.
Yeah. It's a good answer and good. Just hey, we do this. Disappointed that they dropped 2 points. We had a lot of that. Just a lot of
2
disappointment.
points lost. That's an attitude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, and watching it back when you just came off that second half, I get it. But if you watch the whole match, then I think you're okay with the point taken.
Especially the way everything kind of played out, right? But they play this weekend against Austin FC.
Yeah.
On Saturday, it's going to be a 1 p.m. game here. I think I saw in the chat that it's going to be 80 something, high 80s in Texas. First time they have to play in Texas.
Speaking of this,
Yeah.
right? We spoke about the media enough, and like hopefully everybody gets better. Media, there was a lot of questions in terms of like, hey guys, you guys are training in some weather, to like a Swedish guy.
It's like, hey,
Okay.
Swedish guy, it's raining here and we're all scared. Can you help us explain what happens when wet falls from sky? Because no good. We like sun in sky.
I absolutely love it. It is this Sunday. Thank you, Real Swinging Friar. This Sunday.
Sunday.
Oh, okay.
My apologies.
It's all good because San
How
Diego
dare
Wave
you.
does
San
play
Diego Wave
on
plays
Saturdays
Yep.
along with San Diego Soccers.
good.
There's games on
Um,
my calendars.
Yeah, it's the calendars are just my girlfriend is like calendar. She reminds me like, hey, by the way, you have this. I'm like, thank you.
Oh wow, that's
Thank
awesome.
you. That's tomorrow.
Yeah. Do we want to do match predictions?
Absolutely. With that, we will bring back from the depths of hell, apparently, Abe Cepeda.
Abe Cepeda, he's back. He's alive.
I mean, Los Angeles, not that different.
He's back.
All right, Tony, you want to kick off match predictions against Austin?
Look,
Let's give a recap.
just reset this.
Week 2, Tony guessed a 2-1 win for San Diego. That didn't happen against St. Louis.
Okay.
Week 3, Tony guessed a 2-2 draw against Salt Lake. That didn't happen. And this last week, Tony copied me with a 2-1 win for San Diego. Almost happened. So Tony's 0-3. Tony, time to redeem yourself, man.
Look, man, I'm the winner or whoever has the least amount of points at the end of the season will be walking from here, the garage. I'm just going to put somewhere near so I don't dox
Okay.
myself.
Yeah, that's fair.
What is it?
Southwest High School.
Can I spell? This is literally what happens. I can't, and it
Southwest
figures it
School.
out. It-
Close enough.
Close
Wow,
enough.
6-7 hour walk.
It's just a 7-hour walk with a soccer ball from here to Snapdragon Stadium.
You know, I think you could cut that to 5 hours, 50 minutes. I think you could cut a solid hour off that.
Yeah, 100%. So
That's a leisurely pace.
I mean,
you could
fine.
step it up.
Abe is gonna do fine in it.
I think Abe will do great.
He will do great. He's
I don't
cross
know about
country.
that, man. Abe's in first.
I've
place, but
opted out, so I'm definitely not going to be doing the SWAT.
Tony, you have your prediction?
You know what? In beer pong, I don't know if you fancy this. When was the last game of beer pong you ever played? It's not cool. We'll not get into it. You have something called a celebrity shot.
Okay.
And so that's when you hand
Oh.
the ping pong to somebody. And I would love to have a celebrity shot by Craig because I fucking need it. Like
Yes,
it's
yes.
0-3. Like
Craig?
I will take whatever prediction you give me.
2-1 Austin.
San Diego FC's first loss, 2-1 Austin FC.
All right.
It's got to come eventually.
Yes.
Yeah.
It has
I
to.
agree.
It
I
has
agree.
to.
And
It
I
has to.
feel like it's going to come at a time that's random. And usually it's right when you feel like your team is just so good.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel about them right now.
Yeah.
So it's the next step dramatically in the story is an obnoxious loss. Like something stupid happens, ball deflects, whatever.
Yeah.
Did you ask me for a prediction? I don't like to
I
do
like it.
predictions.
I like it.
Oh, okay.
My-
I'm sorry for putting you in that
My,
position.
my buddy Big J once told me
Hmm.
it's don't do predictions.
Okay.
And I was like, that's smart.
I like that. I like that.
So, but if you're gonna ask me,
it's
It's
fine.
a celebrity shot.
It's my prediction.
Right.
There's no.
Yeah.
oh, that's
there's-
right.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, you suffer.
Yeah.
I suck.
100%.
I suck. I'm
I
the one
hope,
that-
I hope you're wrong.
Yes.
Yeah. Abe?
Let's go.
2-1 San Diego, I believe.
2-1 San
2-1
Diego.
That's
Diego.
fair. All right.
All right. Abe's in first place right now. He got the tie and the score right this past weekend. 1-1.
Yeah, didn't like that at all. That's why he's banished to his.
If you'd like to talk about Wave, you'll be allowed soon.
Austin's very interesting. They won their first game 1-0,
Uh-huh.
lost their second game 1-0,
Okay.
won their third game 1-0, and then just lost 1-0.
Oh, so I should have picked 1-0.
Maybe I kind of want to continue that. I'm not
Yeah.
too sure. But I know I think San Diego is actually gonna pull off a win here.
I love it.
I think they're gonna pull off. It's gonna be interesting. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game. No Patty McNair, no Godoy.
Yeah.
Alacari's gonna have to step up. Luca Latorre's gonna have to step up, and I think he gets a goal. His first goal.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with a 3-1 win, San Diego.
I can't wait to be at O'Brien's watching, and I hope you're all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Watch Party for the locals.
Yes.
Love O'Brien's. We actually went. I love this so much. We went for a
Oh,
Mexico
yeah.
US game as a Mexico fans. Look, great time. Great time.
It
No
was a
bags.
tie, thank God.
Thank goodness.
We didn't get jumped.
SDFC 3-2. Esteban. Jeremy says 2-1. San Diego. Yeah,
Love
it's
it.
going to be a good game. Either way, I hope that San Diego FC continues this trajectory of positivity and offense, and it's just fun to watch.
And by the way, Jeremy, I don't know a thing about Austin, so it's a completely random prediction.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing that eventually we're going to go on the road and lose.
Yeah.
Because usually that happens to teams as they go on the road and they lose.
And eventually, I'll probably get one right. And hopefully, it's
it'd
we'll
be
see.
grim satisfaction if it was this one.
Hey, look at
'Cause
this.
Not only would it be a loss, but it would have been my pick. So you would have just coattailed in. So
Swooped it in.
think about it. I've set you up to fail, basically.
All good. All good. We take them. We learn. Mirto Usuni will be
Okay.
soon to be interesting how that turns out. Yeah, I mean, good. We're learning about Austin FC. Cool. That is a nice little bow.
Yeah, I think that's what we
Don't-
have for San Diego FC.
Don't make me walk 7 miles. 7 miles. 7 hours.
Love that we have this club to talk about.
Absolutely.
Love
Yeah,
that we get to
18
talk
miles.
about them.
But there is a club that's been here, Craig.
Yes.
That has been here for a couple of seasons, and they are about to return to Snapdragon Stadium as we switch the gears. And Abe, you could stay for this one if you so choose.
Thank you.
I'm messing with your audio. I'm so sorry. All right. So guess what? Changing gears. We get new banners. Boom. We get new colors in the background because boom. There we go. It's about it.
San Diego Wave. San Diego Wave.
It is back. San
Abe,
Diego Wave.
You were out there at BMO. How was it?
It was a nice drive up there, pretty fast. I was actually driving next to the Sirens bus on the way up. It was kind of funny. I was like going, and then I realized like, oh crap, there's like 2 buses that just say San Diego on the side. It was quite funny, but I had a good time up there. Always a good time at BMO Stadium. Surprisingly, not a sellout. I think this is the first time the Los Angeles team hasn't sold out their home opener, so that was surprising. A lot of the media there were all kind of like, what's happening? Are they losing a step? Why does no one care about Angel City anymore? I thought it was interesting, but I still think there's plenty of interest in the NWSL, both in Los Angeles and San Diego.
The number was 19,000 plus, and I think that was the second most in NWSL this weekend for opening weekend. So, I mean, 19,000 is not bad. Like at the end of the day, like,
That's compared to
it's a couple of thousand, probably less than what was actually at Snapdragon Stadium for San Diego FC, because I find it hard pressed. I did not see. I've seen 30,000 people at Snapdragon
Did they
Stadium.
say 30,000?
30,018, I believe, was the official.
I was thinking more like 24.
I know you feel very strong about these things.
Abe, I don't mean to step on your time here. 19 to 20.5.
Yeah. Lower bowl.
There's no way. And watching it back, like a goodly amount of the main seats were not filled.
Yeah. I thought like 22, 23.
And
that's
it could
being
be
generous.
It could be, but it's always less than you think. Especially because there's the way that a crowd is spaced that makes you feel like it's bigger than it is. There were a lot of gaps in there. 30,000 ain't no way.
Yeah.
Just like, by the way, they knew that the attendance record was 34,460 something.
Oh, 100%.
When they announced 34,506.
Yes.
Like that.
Yes.
I'm dear friends with a couple of different directors of sales. Like I know how this game plays, and they're just playing the game.
Yeah. And again, sorry, Abe, to go on that, but I
No.
knew that was gonna be a point. And
30,000. Come on, right?
Yeah, I
Abe.
think that's always been an issue in San Diego. I mean, the Wave have done it too. There have been many times where they say, "Like, oh, there's 18,000 people here." It's like, really? Are you sure about that? But
It's like 12.
yeah,
Well, they don't let me announce the attendance unless it's a number. So
Interesting.
yeah, so I can't speak to that.
If I speak, I get in trouble. The Mourinho,
Because when
Mourinho
they
quote.
give me a number, it's always a big number.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they don't give me a number. So that's it.
All right, let's dive into some San Diego Wave.
Let's go.
Yes, it was this season
Fired up
opener,
for this
and-
opener.
and we get the starting lineup, right? It's kind of like what people really expected. You get Caruso at start, Leon still kind of getting used to and gelling with the team, but you have Kellen Sheridan with the captain armband. You get Hannah Lunsvig, Kennedy Wesley, McNabb, and Moroni. These are 4 players that were there last season. You have McCaskill, who's playing at the 6 now. Kenza Dali, new signing, new number 10, and Maria Sanchez with the 7. Abe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they messed up here. And
Yeah,
Sanchez
this is
Corley,
messed
right?
up. Gia Corley was playing as like the 10, and then Dali was kind of playing as like an 8. And then Sanchez was on the left wing, Kashkarin on the right wing, and then Cruz up top. And then also McNabb was a center back. But what surprised me most, I was looking into it last season, of the starters from like the 2024 season opener, there's only 3 like starters that have continued on. There's not a lot of continuity on this team. I think like 9 active players at the end of last season left, and then like 10 new active players joined this year. I mean, which is what you expect when you have a team that doesn't make the playoffs, is in like 10th place and has like one of their worst performances. They get a couple coaches fired, so you kind of expect a lot of roster turnover, but like seeing it in real time, it's hard to imagine because the team's identity still feels pretty similar.
Well, what an opener with Cascarino with the setup and Corley the finish, but I mean abysmal marking, obviously, by Angel City, just leaving Corley completely alone in the middle of the 18. Nonetheless,
did you all expect for San Diego Wave to come in and get a goal in the first 5 minutes?
Not on my bingo card. Tell you that.
No.
Hey, what was the reaction just overall?
No, it quieted down the Angel City fans, definitely. To be like, I think we all expected, maybe they'll be creating offensive chances, they'll be having a high press, and eventually something will come through. But like 5 minutes in, it was like a real shock. And then Gia Corley, a new player too, being right there. She's like really young too. She's still like, I think she's only like 20 years old. So seeing that coupled with just so many new international players, it was a big surprise to Angel City, at least to start. They were like much more dominant, and then dominant in possession as well. It's just a weird thing to see like the Wave actually like playing well on the road. I don't think we saw that a lot last year.
I gotta agree, and I mean, you saw that shot earlier, the volley that almost went in as well, and I mean, it looked like San Diego Wave just started kind of do a hot start. Like Cascarino's gonna be a weapon on that right. When we saw her when she came in last season, and I think having her for a full season, it's gonna be a big plus for San Diego Wave in general, and she's gonna dominate.
Yeah, and look, there's a lot of new faces, a lot of new stars, and I think one that we agreed is like, oh man,
Kaylin Sheridan.
Yes, that is Kaylin Sheridan worthy.
Yeah, it was
like, as good of a stop as you're going to see in soccer.
She almost won Grade of the Week for this.
Just tracking the entire net and just being able to be in the right position, get up there, and now the hard part, which doesn't get shown there, is the hard part of the save is getting back up. Boom, great. You get a great picture there. Fantastic. Anything happens after that, it's not on you. You made a great save.
I wouldn't get up for 20 minutes after that. I need attention.
And she does it again right there. And not only that, trapping the ball in front of her in 2 times. Like, just excellent goalkeeping.
That's the reason she's one of the world's best.
Well, guess what? She has competition with Didi now. Like, there's a different gear where this team of San Diego Wave is really hitting. And Jonas Heideval just made sure to cement that. Fitness. This team is working on that. They're going towards a specific play style that requires fitness. And really, it's just a testament to how hard Jonas Heideval is actually pushing these professional players. Like, you see them in the pictures, Sometimes they're gassed, absolutely gassed. That's just the training. The training should be harder than the game. And so far, I do think that this is what Jonas Heideval has been able to do. And on top of that, this team is still an anomaly. There's still questions. There's no film on some of these players in this formation.
Right.
They're getting ranked by all these experts, right, to be last place, 13th place.
Really?
Yes.
I do not see that, Abe.
Rankings came out,
I don't see that. I see this as a playoff team, and I would almost say in an SDFC style, I think Idevol is going to be a star in this town. Do you disagree, Abe, with the few interactions you've had with him? I think this guy's going to be a star in this town.
I don't know about this town, but the NWSL for sure. Like his tactical mind is something I'm not used to seeing out of like a San Diego coach, because like he'll bring out the huge whiteboard with like all the big pieces and like have it on the field during training, or even he has like a smaller whiteboard, but just showing these like weird moves and all these like formations and stuff. I think it's gonna look good for the Wave. At the same time, you're losing like a big three that you had last season in like Alex Morgan retiring. That's a huge deal. Naomi Girma, best defender in the world, leaving, and then Jaden Shaw, like one of America's great youngsters. It's hard to imagine like this team getting better, but when you are able to like spread that money kind of around the roster, maybe it'll work. At first I was really thinking that they were going to struggle this season, but like just looking around the whole NWSL, they're definitely a playoff team as of now.
Okay, so I can't disagree with anything you said, but for context, Alex Morgan, who knew she was on the way out, and was absolutely just taking money the last year, and you know, getting that last payday and getting out the door. Naomi Girma, who I love, and who's the only person I've put the back, you know, their name on the back of a kit that I've bought.
Wow,
but she wanted to go for a year.
Yes.
She had told them before the previous season, I want to leave. And then they didn't let her leave. And then she played okay. I mean, she's Naomi Girma, so her okay is still great.
Yeah.
And Jaden Shaw wanted to leave for over a year. I just feel, Abe, that when you have players who don't want to play for your team's going to be bad, no matter how good those great players are. If they don't want to be there, you're not going to be good. And the Wave just weren't cohesive at any point last season. I don't think Idevol is going to put together a team that isn't cohesive.
I agree there. And I mean, hey, man, I'm just going to say this. I didn't see Jaden Shaw score this weekend.
Yeah. That's
Gorley did.
That absolutely happened.
Yeah, that's fair. And I think Jaden Shaw is going to do well with the Courage under Sean Nahas, I think. But I think, yeah, Craig makes a great point that once you have like cohesion in any team, it's going to look a lot better. And like the Wave, yeah, they simply just didn't have that. It's going to be a tough look if the Wave like aren't this cohesive throughout the year. You really hope like injury bug doesn't really hit them, because depth wise, I don't know if they have that, especially in the midfield. But when this Wave team has a lot of potential right now. And
the thing about Jonas Heideval is that he has his hand on the pulse of the game. If you watch the broadcast after during halftime as they were going into the locker room, he Nostradamus this shit and just absolutely said, this is what we're not doing right in this game. I'm not happy. We're up 1-0. What's going to end up happening is we're leaving too much space for the fullbacks, and they're doing exactly what they want. That's going to create chaos, and we need to make sure we tighten that up. And guess what happens as soon as the half comes in, like they come back from the half, is that they start exploiting the size. They throw Thompson over and switch wings, and they're able to expose the fullbacks. That could have been potentially a foul, but again, you can't count on that. And look at the space that you leave Thompson. Look, we're talking about space.
Yeah, I mean, poor Kennedy is dead to this play, right?
Yeah. To me, in this play, like obviously, I mean, I said foul. Like there was no foul on Kira Caruza, but I think Savannah McCaskill is still learning to play the 6. We talked about Yepes Verskos. He's a player that's played that role his whole career. McCaskill's coming into this new role and having to play a 6. A 6 knows where to stand majority of the game. She was kind of caught out of position here, thinking we're in transitions to attack. She's not there. Moroni has to kind of cut in to try to stop the pass, that leaves Alyssa Thompson wide open. Obviously, in an ideal world, Maria Sanchez would be able to kind of catch up, but it was a counterattack. And they played it right. And Alyssa Thompson is literally one of the best players in the NWSL as well. And when she gets a chance like this, she's going to score 8 out of 10 times.
Yeah. And I thought it was a fairly earned result to this point.
Yeah.
And not to say that San Diego couldn't have come to find a second goal at some point. But that was a great job done by Angel City.
And the thing about this team is, again, this and a bunch of mirrors this whole episode, right? This team is also mirroring San Diego FC in that. Not to keep comparing these two, but the sustainability aspect of the style of play is something that's going to come into question. How are they going to maintain this through 90 minutes? The first 45, San Diego looked absolutely electric. They were pressing high. They were winning balls. They were not letting Los Angeles breathe. Angel City had no answers to everything that San Diego FC was San Diego Wave was doing. And really, it was up to San Diego Wave to not score more than a goal or two. You know, you had some great saves by Kaylin Sheridan. But on top of that, like, you still had certain looks that just didn't go through. And I know, Abe, you mentioned this because you were out there for Coachella Valley for San Diego Wave, that it's going to be a different sort of frustrating when it comes to the final third for San Diego Wave. And I think we saw that, especially in the first half. The second half, they were tired legs. Both teams were exhausted. And I think that's very evident. And coming out, Angel City took advantage of the opportunities they had. But this is going to be a frustrating team in a different way, I feel, like you had said, Abe.
Yeah, and I think it is game one, so fitness isn't going to be there for everyone. But like when you only have like Delphine Cascarino kind of getting in and then making those crosses in, it's not everyone's gonna be there in the middle of the field all the time. But I think there are better strikers on this team this year than they were last year, and if they can like maintain this and then keep those numbers high and like actually putting shots on goal that are like a little bit stronger, because I think in set pieces, I think they'll probably won't be as good as they were last year. Like this year, you just had Kristen McNabb getting every header you could, but like it's still frustrating. But I don't think it's gonna be that bad.
Question though, Abe, Leon, she was a late sub in this match. Are we expecting her to be the Wave's best player and number one goal scorer at the end of the year? I was feeling like she is our Morgan this year. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I think that's the hope, and that's why you sign a player that late, especially a striker. You want your strikers to like get comfortable with the rest of the team, and when you have a full preseason, you don't trust Kira Caruso, or you send Maya Jones on loan, and then Chiamaka, who they signed in the offseason, isn't fully capable of full 90 yet. I think that's kind of the idea. Just you need her to be making these goals and being one of these stars, but it's tough. She hasn't been in the NWSL for many years. So I think if she can like get on the score sheet early on and prove that she can score these goals, it's going to be a problem for NWSL teams. People are going to have to like respect her in that attacking third. But I think if she doesn't get off to a hot start, it's going to look like a lot of the same as it was last year.
This is a team that dominated possession in this match. This is a team that had a lot of shots and 6 shots on target. This team had more passes completed than Angel City. You put last year's team in this match today, they wouldn't have done that.
Yeah,
I think it's a big improvement already. I'm being very optimistic and saying that this Wave team feels like they could be a top 3 team. And I think it's going to come down to them taking advantage of those opportunities. Their defense is going to be their weak point. I mean, you lose Naomi Girma. You have Kennedy Wesley starting, who's still kind of solidifying herself. You have Trinity Armstrong that got 15 seconds of play time.
Right.
But
maybe we'll give them more.
She could potentially be a solid center back, right? So,
well, they're counting on that. They're counting on her becoming a star on this team.
For sure. I think she will be.
Yeah.
So far, I like what I saw. You got a point on the road. That's the magic word.
Yeah.
3 points at home, a point on the road. Everyone's happy.
You know, bottom line, I'm really excited because this Wave club was built on a veteran, established star basis, right?
Yeah.
Morgan, Dahl, Kemper, Sheridan.
Yes.
Like just right there. You've just got this veteran backbone national team. And this is a perfect way to introduce a team to a city, introduce a league to a city. Year 2, the club is the best club in the league.
Yes.
They have an unfortunate semifinal, probably cost Casey Stoney her job.
Yes.
When all was said and done, that semifinal probably cost her
Mm-hmm.
job. But Casey wasn't going to play a super entertaining style. Like, that's pretty clear. And I feel like we had to suffer through last year, through the aging out and the transition out of both the aging players who had to leave and the young players who wanted to leave. And now you've got there's just a freshness to this Wave Club that I'm really, really excited about. I think Idavol's got ideas. I think he's creative. I think he's relentless. I'm really, really excited about his leadership. Dali, Leon, Corley, seeing what Armstrong has to bring.
Yeah.
Sheridan is your rock that's going to erase a lot of the issues that your club has. Like, I don't know, Abe. I'm excited. Like, I'm fired up, and I feel like I don't know top 3, but I feel like top 6 is realistic for the Wave.
Yeah, I would say top 8. I think the NWSL is really good as a whole, but yeah, this is something to be excited about for sure, especially compared to it's hard to get worse than the rock bottom that was last year, and even then they're 10th place out of 14 teams. Like, it felt like a 14th place team, but 2 or 3 points really only separate all these teams in the middle. So there's a very real possibility they can end up in the playoffs and go on a run. And I think the biggest change for me in that midfield was Kenza Dolly too. She was making some passes and with some creativity that I haven't seen out of an 8 from the Wave ever. I think she was just, I think, probably most akin to Emily Van Egmond in that first year. Chiva would like that a lot because she was just directing traffic, moving the ball around,
It was great.
involving the fullbacks in a way that's not just obvious, just bringing them up. It was cool to watch, and I hope it lasts all season, because if not, it's going to be another tough year.
It's really going to be a new wave team, a new wave tried to kill the metal, but the metal tried to brilliant. As I was skimming through
New Wave.
But
I agree.
Look at Chiamaka is a player that's going to be coming in, and another Alex McIntyre, where you just they know how to move forward, crank it, go. Yeah. They're going to blast through the defense with speed, but she's going to be offsides 9 out of 10 times. And that's one of the things that is going to have to be measured and kind of have that education on. But one name that we haven't mentioned, and everybody keeps mentioning.
I know the name.
You know exactly who I'm talking about.
Mel B.
Oh, man. A player that will always get just a viral star of a player. And this is, again, to her talents. But the question is always, why is she getting minutes? Why do we not see Mel B? What they need to play her more. They need to go ahead and do this. You see the highlights of her stepping over and going through 2 defenders. But my question there is, what did she do after? What did she do after she took on 2 defenders with a great play? She lost the ball.
Right.
Like that. Those are the moments where, yes, the talent's there, but you need to have the idea of where you're going to go with it. And that's where she needs to mature in that sense on the pitch. Is it exciting? Is it beautiful? Fantastic. It really is. But what are you going to do after you take on the entire team? Are you going to make the right decision and try to take on another defender that's going to eventually take the ball away and negate everything you did? Okay, well, you need to just be unselfish in that moment, turn back and just not do a step over. Just live another day.
And I mean, you're talking about a 17-year-old kid still.
Yes.
She still has a lot of learning, and there's going to be a lot of coaching. I think she's going to grow a lot under Jonas. So I think Abe, you agree with me. I always call her a firecracker when she comes off the bench, because she comes in and she just electrifies everything. She's a player like Alex Maiten with San Diego FC. You put these players when the backline of the opposing team is on tired legs, and she's going to do some amazing things.
Yeah, and I think a lesser team on the road puts in some more defensive players, tries to solidify. You're already got the 1-1 draw. You're on the road. It's your rivals. You should be okay with a point, but to put in attackers like Kimi Escanio, like Mel B, Mackenzie Robbie up, formerly Mackenzie Doniak, up at the top wing, like, and Leon as well. Like, you're saying, like, okay, we're gonna score. We're trying to score. We like still believe in ourselves, even though they like gave up a run, left up those like spaces in
that's
the
just
back. They
crazy.
still
Indoor
believe.
play.
Mm-hmm.
Mel could
Indoor
play
play.
indoors.
I mean, he didn't touch the back line.
That's some Charlie Gonzalez shit right there.
Yeah, just whoop, whoop, by just walking to the ball. And don't get me wrong, like it's beautiful. And again, thank you, Tanya, for that correction. Right, Kimi Escaño, another youngster who gets that ball passed to her. There is loss of possession, and again, it's not all on Mel B, but just on the greater scheme of things. Like, this is her play style, and so she needs to go ahead and adapt that and take it to the next level where it's like, cool, like it's fine. You lose that ball here, but you should be able to go ahead and create a center or create a cross. And she's getting there. She's getting there.
Okay, I got to be honest. I would be fine if they started Mel B and if they played her all the time. And even if she made mistakes that led to goals against, like, I would be cool with it, because I think she has the potential to be one of the top 5 playmakers in the world.
Who you sub out?
I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm not worried about that part. But Abe, my question to you is: does Mel B have the fitness to play 60 minutes?
Exactly.
Like, I don't even think 90 is a question right now. Does she have the fitness to play 75 minutes? And is that just a simple matter of getting older, just becoming 19, so that she can play throughout the whole match?
I think she does have that fitness, but one issue can be is like with Alyssa Thompson. She's been playing from the beginning. She's signed as a 17-year-old or 18-year-old, I think, with Angel City, and she had some struggles year one. Like, she made some great goals, like made great chances, like Mel B here, but eventually, like, kind of caught up to her. She had a little bit of an injury thing, and then you could kind of see that, like, that pressure as a like goal scorer weighed on her, especially in that LA market. I think it like really did change her perspective, and San Diego have like had an opposite view where they're just like slowly bringing Mel B up and letting her build these minutes. But I think I kind of do agree it is time to just unleash her, let her go free, see what happens. Especially, I think she only has one more year left on her contract technically here with San Diego. So
like, well, you don't want her to break out somewhere else.
Yes.
You know what I mean? She's a San Diegan. You'd love to let this be the year and then sign her to an extension, at the end of this year. But I guess my point is that the Wave have already seen the wave crash, like we had the highs, we experienced the low.
Yeah.
I watched their very well done 15-minute video, preseason video.
Yeah.
Every player and coach is talking about the people who left. Like, they're like, well, so many people left, blah, blah, blah. But the people who are here, like, I'm excited for the people who are here. And Mel B is one of the people who is here. And I don't think the Wave are going to win the championship this year. I hope they do.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to win the Shield. I don't think they're going to win the championship. But if Mel B could get to the point where at the end of the year, she's one of the stars of this league, to me, that's an incredibly successful season.
Yes.
For San Diego Wave FC.
Yeah, it's that development aspect. And that's something that Jonas is actually really good at. And historically over at Arsenal and the WSL, he's known to bring these young talents out and really teach them in a play style. And he knows this league, again, like something that even Ken Zadali, Cascarino, just anybody coming over from Europe that addresses the first time when asked, hey, what's the difference between playing in Europe and here? Is like, it's a transitional league. This league is high pace. We're going to go ahead and give up a lot of chances, but there's a lot of open spaces for attack. And what Mel B does is a very unique style of attack that honestly, she can take on anybody who she desires.
She can.
Anybody at any given moment. And with that, is she creating? Is she scoring? What is she doing with it? And there's going to come a time where it's going to unlock for her. And again, I have to agree with you. She has to be here in San Diego. And that's one move where I hope that the front office just kind of understands of like, hey, get her on a plan. Like this, you need her on a plan of development. You need some goals for her. Like, where do you need Mel B to be in order to go ahead and earn that contract? And I really hope Jonas and company have that in mind.
Well, just in that, there's limitations. She's not a defensive player. She makes aggressive decisions that backfire, right? Like, she's not always thinking about the whole global aspect of what's happening on the floor. Sorry, floor, because she is very indoor play, but on the pitch. But I feel like the potential is for Mel to be one of the world's most dangerous players. I feel like there's going to be a time in her career where she's good for not 2 goals scored, but 2 goals created.
Yeah.
Like every match, unless you're throwing the kitchen sink at her. I could see that at age 22, at age 23, somewhere along the line, that she's one of the world's best players. So to have this opportunity to see her grow as a San Diegan and do it here in San Diego, she could become the most popular player in the history of the Wave.
Yes.
If that's winds up being the case.
And she knows that. She knows that responsibility. She knew in saying Alex Morgan's my hero, I'm gonna inherit, just trying to take that baton and move it forward. Like, it's there. This is the next generation of the U.S. women's national team, even. And again, this is a talent that, if asked, every single team in the league would take her right now.
Right?
Every
team.
Like, every team.
In one of those, like, Abe, I don't think they have a trade simulator for NWSL, but like you could trade Mel B for almost any player in the league, right?
Yeah, especially with their age, that's no question. There's incredible value there.
No, I think this team is ready to come back home and really show in front of the fans at Snapdragon Stadium, in front of the Sirens, that this is a new breath of fresh air that's coming into the Snapdragon for NWSL. And man, it couldn't have come at a better time, because this is really just a moment and a pivot that, you know, people are still kind of having those thoughts of like last year, what happened on and off the field. Like there's healing that's happening. Healing is painful, and I think the pain has happened. Now you get to see some on the field soccer being played, and hopefully that carries this franchise and really elevates and keeps elevating soccer in San Diego, because that's something that San Diego Wave has done and has been doing, is really being a professional team to represent and be about what San Diego is. And you know, I success for San Diego Wave, it's just success for the city. And I don't care what angle you're taking on this, or at the end of the day, this team is a San Diego team. And guess what? They have a chance to win a championship and be the first team in San Diego to have a championship parade. And everybody in San Diego better be there, because that counts just as much.
Oh, I agree.
Yep.
I agree. I'm really excited for this year. I'm going to keep my mind wide open on this club. And I just think like they made necessary changes. You know, I mean, like I really liked Casey Stoney, but clearly between just finding out in retrospect that Germa and Shaw were asking out before the year started.
Yeah.
That just tells you everything you need to know. You didn't know that if you're on the outside. On the outside, you're like, this is this great club coming into the year. Why is Stoney being fired? Why is everyone, you know, what's going on? But that was critical information for us all to know. They didn't want to be here. So at the end of the day, you can't keep, like Naomi would have played hard no matter what.
Yes.
But you can't keep players here who don't want to be here. It's contrary to the values of anything. And now you've got a club that I can really, really get excited about and fall in love with again, I feel. And I can't wait for Saturday. I mean, I feel like they're going to go out there and they're going to put on a show. And I hope Leon develops into being a 12, 15 goal scorer for this team this year. And when all's said and done, that this club is right there fighting for it at the end of the year.
And you'll be there, Shiva. You'll be there, Craig. Like that's
Abe too.
You won't.
I will
You
not.
won't. What are you going to be doing?
I will be doing commentary for the San Diego Soccer Show on Mexican, Hispanic. It's fine. It's same thing.
Hispanic Heritage Night.
Hispanic Heritage Night.
Nice.
With a theme game ticket, you can get a special cap, you know.
Oh,
That's-
I actually like that cap. I'm not gonna lie.
I do
It's
too.
a really
I'd
cool
like
hat.
to have it.
Let's get it.
That's nice of you to give this guy the reign on the Hispanic Heritage Night.
Well, it's nice of the Wave to give me the chance to be back on the mic. They at least returned a phone call. It's appreciated.
What time's the soccer's game?
Same as ours.
Yeah,
Ah,
exactly.
I'm gonna have an AirPod on just to listen.
I'm gonna have it on the, but it'll be sound off though. I'm afraid
Thank
in
you.
the booth.
Thank you.
Hey,
And let's keep
we'll
it
have-
that way.
we'll have
Even the
it with your
rewatch.
buddies.
Keep it that way. It's fine.
Oh,
We're just gonna call Tony halfway through.
yeah. Abe, are you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's here.
Well, it's time for you to go back in your cage. But appreciate you.
It's
All
too much
right.
power. It's the silliest power.
Real quick, do we want to hear from Jonas real quick?
Sure, fine. All
I,
right.
I heard it was a quick press conference.
Was it?
Yeah, what was it, Abe? Just paint the picture real quick.
So for some reason, Angel City was kind of like rushing through their post game medias, and then for Wave Game specifically, I guess it's a rivalry thing. They share the interview room post game, and like other times, the away team gets like a special separate area where they have to do their interviews. But like the Wave only got like a few questions. It was like me and one other San Diego person there actually asking questions. So like we only got like one.
NBC, CBS, ABC,
It was
UT,
Union Tribune. UT.
None of them.
It was
Oh, was
just
it UT?
just UT, yeah. But
Oh, okay.
I didn't recognize the guy. I think he's like a freelancer that
Yeah, I didn't recognize the name either.
Was he reading off of a sticky note? Like it sounded like he was reading the question off a sticky note. Like he just kind of found in his pocket. Like
We've all been there.
True.
Like I need to send Ryan Finley an email. Like, do you want to like hire a soccer person? Probably the answer is no.
Yeah, I told him on my KPBS round talk, like I know a good writer.
Yeah. Very well.
Yeah, somebody who knows the game. I mean, okay.
Were you
well,
talking about me when you said that?
Yeah, of course.
Uh-huh.
You got called out. I love it.
But all the Angel City me, I really do like going to those games because like there's real soccer people at these games, and like they're all just it's fun because like at the end of the game they're just hanging out in the press box talking crap about the team and what's going on. I feel like we don't get enough of that. Like we get to talk about it here on the podcast, but like that press box conversations that I think we just miss out on that. We need to involve more of the TV people, more of the people around. Just give our thoughts on what happened.
Well, they
It's
need to
pretty
go.
cool.
They need to go.
Step by step. We're going to get there. SDFC is going to drag them over the line
They
a
have
little
to.
bit.
They have to. Like again, it prints money. It'll make money, guys. Like it's fine. Like it's okay. I've seen the hits online. Like it's I don't know. Like again, this is
It doesn't
a
print
separate-
money. I would be the highest paid person in San Diego. Me and Darren would be the two highest paid people if it printed money.
Very,
So,
very, very
it,
true.
it factually does not.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Does
Hopefully.
not yet print money.
Yeah, no, it does not. It does not.
Hoping for money.
Jonas Adebal hopefully does print money because of his
Yeah,
play
let's
style.
get there. What time does this 90-minute podcast end?
Oh yeah. Clearly it's
Just checking.
take bathroom breaks. It's fine.
We're good.
You know, we're have to give 10-minute breaks at work now.
I'm just hungry now. We're not going to talk about the Soccers, right?
We got
That's you tomorrow.
Hey, we got a whole show
We got a whole
tomorrow
show
at Soccer's
tomorrow. Okay,
Overtime
good.
here on the same
Good,
channel.
good,
Soccer's
good.
Overtime 6
Tomorrow
p.m.
at 6.
100%.
We'll belay that conversation until then. Here's John. Here's Jonas.
To build, I think it's two things with it. Of course, we want to build our fitness and build our ability to maintain playing with intensity for longer periods of the game. But I also think that what you saw was that from a squad perspective, I was very pleased with the players coming on in the game in the second half. I think we saw some great contributions from those players, and that's also an important part with it, where we can sometimes when we play with that intensity, we can help share the burden as a squad. So I think that was a real positive to see players from the bench coming in and helping us changing the game for the better.
Shout out Trinity Armstrong for your 15 minutes of service.
I mean, no, seconds. 15
seconds.
Hey, that happens in soccer sometimes. You know?
She was on the
It was good.
sideline for a while. Like she was supposed to come on, I think, like just before stoppage time started, but for some reason, like there was no stop and play, so she was just like waiting there for a while. So
It happens. It happens.
Hey, it's a long year. There's international breaks.
Oh,
There's
yes.
people called up. Like,
Yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing what Trinity Armstrong has to deliver. And they did a good job, didn't they, last year of integrating Kennedy Wesley? Like,
Yes, they did.
you know,
Yeah, they did.
she started off very limited. Now she's a center back. She's basically taking Gurma's role.
Hmm.
We don't expect her to be Naomi Gurma,
But she can.
but she's good.
Yeah.
Like she's good,
She's
and she
really
can
good.
be really good over the course of time. And like, don't burden her with being Naomi Gurma. Let her be the best Kennedy Wesley she can be.
Tough. Did you
Some-
see that play where she got hit? Sorry to interrupt, but like she got knocked on the head.
Yeah, something about Stanford center backs. They're just good.
Right.
You know what's crazy? They signed another Stanford defender this year as
Mm-hmm.
a like short-term player. So that's 4 straight seasons of signing a Stanford defender. Like that's so weird.
It's a good program out there, and that's really good to see. And look, let it happen. Let it feed into San Diego Wave, and hopefully bring success. It worked out last time. Cool. Prediction or not, we're fine.
I mean, they play. I'm gonna give them a win. I don't know what the score will be, but I think they're gonna win at home.
2-0.
2-0. I like it.
2-0.
Yeah, I agree. Utah looked okay, not great, and yeah, they're if their offense can get this going, and then especially that San Diego crowd, I expect like at least like 25,000. I would assume.
Like a
Gotta
real
be,
a
gotta
real
be.
25,000.
I think probably.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I love the Wave fans. It's just a different fan base.
It really is.
I mean, how many SGFC fans are Wave fans? You know, there's some.
There's some.
There's
yeah.
some. There's some crossover, but it's not the same crowd. It's a different feel, and it's special. I'm really excited to be back for year 4 of Wave, and I can't wait to see what they put together. And I just have a weird feeling that this is going to be a team that we're going to wind up loving by the end of the year.
Yes, it's going to be fun. Like, again, this is going to be an exciting team, new names, new faces, and players that are willing to give 110%. You can tell, like, they want to give 110%, not just as professionals, but because they are going to love the way that Jonas Heideball has them playing, and really, it's going to be a fun time. Abe, how are you? You good? All right, cool. Sounds good. Bye,
It's time
Abe.
for you to be released.
Anything else from you, Senor Abe? You can find Abe's writing at San Diego.Futbol.
Yes. You do a great
because
job,
Guess
Abe.
what, Abe?
Thank
You do write. That was surprisingly for you, but you are a writer, editor-in-chief of San Diego.Futbol, actually.
Don't let him speak bad to you, Abe. You do a great job.
He does the best job.
Thank you.
No,
Yeah, he
100%.
does.
Oh, here, boom.
I don't see Tony's
Check it out.
writing up here.
Yeah, even you started writing, Chiba. 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Chiva's a great
Really?
writer. He's getting his opinion out there. I love to see it.
Thank you, boss.
Yeah, work on separating your paragraphs. Work on your grammar.
I got my
You learned how to
notes.
spell Marcus Ingvartsen at least. I'm
Yes, I
proud you
did.
that.
Sure did. I had a little soccer trivia, but I don't know if we're running out of time.
I mean,
Let's do it. Come on, bring it on.
Let's go.
Eight's part of it. It's just 8 questions. San Diego soccer trivia. You guys can just fire away. Or you guys an answer. It gets easier. Some are really easy. Some are tougher.
Just
Who was
I'll
the
be
first,
the judge of that.
Who was the first signing for San Diego FC?
The very
Very
wasn't
first
it
signing.
Yepe and Marcus together?
I got
Very
this.
first signing.
I got
It's
this.
Durant Free.
Yep, Durant free.
Referee.
It's Durant Free. You could just
Yep,
say it. This
you
is
can
the
just
first
say it. All
first
right.
person right.
Okay.
Who was number 2 for San Diego FC?
2?
Number 2.
2. Not lawful send.
Willie?
Kumado.
Yes.
Tomato.
Yes.
One for me.
I love that.
How many supporter groups exist in the supporters union?
Officially,
Oh crap.
7.
7.
Nice
7
job.
is correct.
I wouldn't have known.
18.
18 threads.
we're
We're gonna bring it back a little bit, a couple years.
We're 11 away.
Almost there, guys. 8's technically.
The La
Esteban
Mesa
says eight.
supporters group is still coming together.
The correct answer was 7, though.
Yeah, there is a.
I
The
saw on I
Lakeside
saw on the
supporters
website.
group
I checked
work-
on
work-
the website.
A lot of work on the Lakeside supporters group.
Who was the first San Diego loyal captain?
Charlie Adams.
Charlie Adams.
What? Sal Zizzo.
Sal
Yeah,
Zizzo.
right, absolutely.
Sal
He was
Zizzo,
here.
yeah.
He was here.
SZ.
All right, let's see. Against who was San Diego Loyal's first win?
That was going to be a Real Monarchs.
Oh.
That was a
I have
tie.
no idea.
That was Grant Stoneman.
Abe, you were in high school.
You were, jeez, Jesus.
That's Tacoma
Phoenix?
Defiance.
Oh.
It was also the last game before COVID and killed sports.
I should have known that. I
Good.
watched it. I
Yeah.
do remember watching it. The grim night for the MASL.
Yeah.
He was the announcer
Oh
for
my
Tacoma
goodness.
Defiance. Andrew Harvey was. Yeah.
That was, I remember that game. Jack Metcalf had a great game. I actually watched that with, ¿cómo se llamaba ese vato? The bald guy. Very important for San Diego Loyal. Warren.
Club president?
The bald guy. Who was he? He seemed important.
Warren.
Seemed like
He bought me a beer.
Seemed like a notable figure.
Yeah, he bought me a beer at Stone, and then we
bald
watched
one.
it together.
The guy with no hair. Who was he?
Let's go one last loyal question. Who was the last captain for San Diego Loyal?
Oh.
Charlie Adams.
Charlie Adams
Yeah,
is
Charlie
correct.
Adams. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go into
Abe,
some
you're getting
wave.
buried here. Just
No, I don't think it was. I guess technically, I think he got subbed off. No, it might have been like Corona or Guido.
we have the
The
book somewhere.
technicality. I
We
mean, the
have
book said Charlie Adams.
Okay.
So.
Ooh, are you gonna go
Okay.
against the book?
Yeah.
Shout out Virtual Statman.
All right, let's go. Two wave questions here. Are you guys ready?
Okay.
How many goals did Alex Morgan score for San Diego Wave?
Four.
No. Just
Oh.
for San Diego Wave history. Her career was San Diego Wave.
17.
Over.
13.
Oh, over.
21.
22.
22. Look at that.
The extra goddamn penalty.
She's the all-time scorer for San Diego Wave. Last question. Are you guys ready?
She really, I mean, yeah, they
Yeah.
didn't score that much last year at all, actually.
Who scored San Diego
Zero
Wave's
last
first ever club goal?
Wait, San Diego Wave's first ever
First
club goal.
Abby Dahlkemper.
Nope.
No.
No.
Torero.
Taylor?
Think Challenge Cup.
Oh. Challenge Cup.
Was it Kaylee Real? It was Kaylee Real.
Kaylee
Real.
And he was a center back.
Kaylee Real.
Was it 1-1 match? You guys want to take a guess who scored against San Diego Wave that match?
No.
Who scored against San Diego Wave?
Was it
Currently in the Wave roster.
Oh.
McCaskill? It was McCaskill.
Savannah McCaskill.
I
Yeah.
knew it. Knew I hated her.
All right,
all
that's
the
what
way
I had
through.
for you guys there.
That was
That was
pretty
fun.
good.
That was pretty fun.
I really enjoyed Kaylee because she had a great name for PA.
Hey,
Kaylee Real.
you might get to say it again on Saturday if she starts.
Well, it'd be nice to see.
And Pogue also.
Oh,
Can return
yeah,
to
100%.
Snapdragon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Old ex-Wave players.
The art of PA. You enjoy that?
Oh, I love it. It's fun. It's easy.
Are you gonna have it more too, or
Huh?
is it more gonna be with you doing it on Saturday? or
Who?
no?
Not a club, not my decision.
Yeah.
I would love to see Amor, who is a dear friend, ally, colleague.
Mhm.
If he's there, I'll be excited. If they do happen to hand me a Spanish script, I'll read it. You know, I'm very Ron Burgundy in that sense. But
I've heard your Spanish, and let me tell you, your Spanish would do well in San Diego FC.
listen,
Yes.
let's just not go there.
Absolutely. I'm very okay with that.
Just put him in the cave now.
I'll just
Please.
put everybody away.
Hey, look.
Anyways,
Before we go, I wanted to share this.
I'm scared. What are you
Uh-huh.
sharing?
what do you
I'm
want
just
to share?
sharing. I'm just sharing this. This was the first time we had ever had Craig on the show.
Oh yeah.
What episode is this?
Oh wow.
I
This
don't know,
must be
this was-
COVID because this is
was
back
4 years ago. Look at
from
these
my
guys.
son's room when I still had the wall of scarves up. My wife made me take that down.
Look at those guys though.
I
Craig.
wanted to indoctrinate. Oh well, yeah, well wow, that's like double you. Like
Both of us, yeah.
I think between the two of you, there's two of you compared to the two of you now.
I think a Craig. I think we lost a Craig.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, you probably lost about a Craig
Yeah.
along the way. Now I look about the same.
And we got bigger. from
Shitty as
here.
always, but
Oh yeah.
No, we got bigger.
This is yeah, 100%.
This was
is
skinnier
not
Chiva.
that was
Yeah.
skinny guys.
like first
Yeah.
you traded weight over, and then you both just lost it.
yeah,
Yeah.
transferred over here, and
Yeah.
so different
whoa,
times.
whoa,
Abe,
yeah.
what were you doing at that point? What was it, 4 years ago?
4 years ago,
Was swimming-
February
It's a
2021.
thought in your dad's twinkle in your.
I think it was 2021. I was in school. I was in college, University of
Ah,
Oregon.
great. Go Ducks.
Being cold and not wanting to go outside because it's raining all the time and
Yeah.
COVID being weird.
Super depressing
Yeah.
when it rains.
That's Abe.
No, not you. The weather.
Yeah. I wasn't ready for that.
Just as a slight aside, I made a promise back in December that if my alma mater, the school that I went to, UC San Diego, that when I went there, they were a Division III university. That if they, in their first year as a Division I qualified school, made the NCAA tournament, seemingly a completely impossible thing, that I would follow them wherever they went, and I would go to their tournament, their first tournament game. Well, as the team wound up being really, really good, I put in the request this past weekend, and there were 8 different places that I could go.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
And one of them was up in Seattle, and I didn't want to go because it fucking rains all the time and it's depressing. And I looked up the weather and it was going to rain every single day. It was going to rain Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It was going to rain every day. And UCSD is playing in Denver.
Ooh.
And I'll be flying to Denver on Wednesday, and I will be there Thursday night for UCSD versus Michigan.
5-12. That's a big chance.
And Abe, as you know, a 12 beats a 5 every year. At least one 12 beats a 5 every year. Let it be us this year. Unfortunately, I will be flying back. Not unfortunately, because the waiver on Saturday.
Yes.
But so if they do make the second round, they'll have to do it without me. But I will be there, and I could have been in a place that's pissing rain, and instead I'll be in Denver, which just has clear skies, cold weather, and marijuana clouds wherever you look.
Awesome.
So just
Perfect.
Last year around this time, it was I was walking into the stadium while security was checking me, and the SDSU game was on the big screen, and Lamont and Butler made that shot to end the game, and security stopped what they were doing. I just was like, hello, you guys were checking my bag. Everyone just stopped what they were doing to watch that shot. So it's always fun, March Madness.
Well, if Puma is right and the Tritons face the Aztecs in the Sweet 16, I will have to go to that game too.
Yeah.
And I don't know where that would be, but I would have to go.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of UCSD, San Diego Internacional played yesterday, and they have a player from UCSD
Oh,
in
yeah?
their roster. He already graduated. He's a senior, not on the roster now, but he played this season with them. Nikita, really solid midfielder. And they also have a player currently in the roster that after the tournament, he's going to be playing for San Diego Internacional in the UPSL.
Hey,
love it.
I have a cousin that went to UCSD. How about that?
You have a friend too?
Yeah, 100%. Theodore Geisel. Yeah. You know who that
I
is?
meant me.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. He's currently
You
still
also
going?
have me. I went to UCSD.
Yeah. I'm up there all the time. My girlfriend's at UCSD. They have a weird library, but
Yeah, Geisel Library, bro.
Yeah,
It's
the guys,
fantastic.
the guys' library.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember when I was growing up, what sci-fi movie they used. I think it was one of the Star Treks.
Oh,
maybe Star Trek 2 used the guys' library as a stand-in. Yeah, facts.
2 balls in my technology. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, wow,
Bingo.
look at that.
Nailed it. Thank you, AI. Way to go,
Absolutely.
Google.
We've done it, guys.
Appreciate you.
Boom. It's taken over everything. This is what we take for granted. Like, oh yeah, it's cool, it's cute. There's cool things
no.
like this, but no, it's coming after
iconic.
us. Coming after you guys.
God!
Victor Murphy, where have you been?
AI help
Good
me on all my
evening.
working also.
I love that.
All right.
All right, Abe. Thank you for your time. Just what are we
Bye,
doing?
Abe.
Just a little spit. Just live long and prosper out there.
This was fun, guys. Yeah,
thank
you
you,
guys
Greg.
do the best work in soccer in San Diego. You know, I know this. You know, I've said it to you many times off the air, but nobody's doing the work you do. You are doing the work of a professional organization. You should be paid as such.
Calm down.
You are not being paid as such, but you are doing that work. And I appreciate you and recognize that your effort level is way above anyone in mainstream media. So
It's tiring. It's so
yeah.
tiring.
It's tough.
It's
tough.
I love it. I love every second of it. And
But-
and
I call out from work again tomorrow. I'm tired.
But everyone who's watching and who's supported this club, just do whatever you can do to support these guys. Please do that because they deserve it. They are. I don't even know why they do what they do. I mean, it's to get a 2026 World Cup press pass, I
At this
guess.
point.
But they're fucking rock stars and they're doing the job. And there's literally a dozen people that are getting paid a lot of money in San Diego media that can't. That literally their dicks would shrivel into tiny little if they had to do what these guys do.
I really appreciate that, man. Like,
So-
really appreciate that. Yeah,
I only
that's-
missed one high five.
Yeah,
Tonight.
sorry.
Yeah.
It's our thing.
It's
Don't- don't
literally
be
every. I
jealous.
We're high
expect
five
that
guys.
every
Yeah.
single time.
Me
from
and
here-
Chiva, high five guys.
from
there
here
you
on
go.
now.
Yeah. Anyways, love you guys.
Craig, where can they find your work? Where can they
I don't
find
know.
you?
I'm fucking unemployed.
Wise hiring if you're interested.
Yeah, if anyone would like Brian Finley, if you'd like to make me the beat writer for SDFC, I'd probably do the best job of anyone you could hire. But at 619 Sports and Life on Instagram, at 619 Sports on Blue Sky. Catch me and Tony tomorrow on Soccer's Overtime, 6 p.m. right on these very same channels. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, no. Patreon.com/Padres Hot Tub. Absolutely. I mean, Padres Hot Tub, obviously I'm going to have a little bit more time this summer. And we're going to be diving in a lot more post-game shows, a lot more content, probably 3 to 4x more content. So patreon.com/Padres Hot Tub. That helps me directly.
Yes.
So thank you.
With that, Tony Sanchez, Chio Villaseñor, for the release, Abraham Cepeda now on the soccer pitch on the floor.
Good to still see you, eh?
Still there.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you guys for joining. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.